So, what's good, everybody? This is Coop. This is Hip Hop Talks. We want to thank all of y'all for coming out. Make sure you click like and subscribe to the page. Today is my pleasure to introduce the Hyena Squad to Hip Hop Talks. Derange will be on shortly, but my man Iced Out, what's up? How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Totally blessed, man.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting,
Having us.
go ahead. While we're waiting for Derange to get into the room, how did you all actually meet? While we're actually waiting for him to get in the room.
We met through some mutual friends, Zarkoka and B Thorough, and we met in the studio, and we like each other's grind and each other's flows, and we just meshed, and we end up connecting together. And becoming the Hyena Squad over the years. We've been together about 7 to 8 years now. So
okay. So the meeting was a musical meeting of the minds.
right.
Now, had you heard of each other in the Lansing area? Y'all are repping Lansing, right?
Yeah, we repping Lansing. We haven't really. I haven't really knew of him. It was just some friends that were telling me about this guy. He got a good work ethic, and y'all would mesh together. So it ended up being true, and we just linked up. And sky's the limit from there.
Lansing is one of those kind of forgotten areas in Michigan. So tell our audience a little bit about the Lansing rap scene and how it compares to the Midwest rap scene as a whole, how it compares to the Detroit and the Chicago rap scene. Tell us a little bit about Lansing and what the styles are like there.
Lansing is the capital city of Michigan. It's different than Detroit and Chicago. We got more lyrical artists, and we got some of the people that have the drill style as well. But majority of us are lyrical rappers, and it's not really a good scene here for music, but you can make it if you try and you get out and go into other cities and get yourself known. You can make it out of here, but you just got to move around.
Why do you think? Explain the geography. I'm like a history and geography nerd, so I know where Lansing is located. But explain to us where Lansing is located in Michigan and why you feel like the scene isn't a prime option for a rap artist to thrive.
It's in mid Michigan, between Detroit and Grand Rapids. It's not really any clubs, because we keep getting shut down for all the violence and the crime that's going on. We're a top 10 crime city in America for most violent crimes, and a lot of places they get shut down and there's nowhere to perform, and they don't give opportunities like that for hip hop artists out there in Lansing. Very few. There's maybe 2 or 3 places. That's about it.
Now, when you're saying,
city.
I'm about to say, how big is the city? Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to ask. Is it like one of those towns you can breeze through the downtown in 5-10 minutes?
Kinda. It's the population around Metro 300,000. It's not a big city, but it's not a small city. It's quite average.
Okay. Now you said that it's not like Detroit and not like Chicago because you said it was lyrical, and so you do know that people like Eminem and Royce the 5'9" and Elzai rep Detroit, and you have people like.
I was talking about the guys. I was talking about the guys coming up underneath them. Not
so what? So let me ask you something. What do you think about a Boldy James? Would you consider him to be lyrical?
I've never heard of him.
You never heard of Boldy?
Never heard of Budden James.
Okay. And what about Chi-Town? You don't think Chi-Town's lyrical? We got Twister, Common. My man, I Am God came on here last week. I Am God is crazy nice.
Yeah, they got some talent. they got some talent. I was talking about more the younger generation.
Okay.
That's what I was aiming for. But yeah, shouts out to those guys, Twister, Common, Kanye, all them. They real nice. Yeah, them the cats I look up to.
So tell me where the name Hyena Squad actually comes from.
It comes from me and my boy came up with it because we run in packs. You know what I'm saying? We wild and we run in packs and we deep. That's where we came up with that from.
Okay. So how deep is the crew other than you and Derange? Like, do y'all have like an in-house producer?
Yeah, we
What's the
have.
team look like?
Yeah, we have Calico. Shout out to Calico. We got Mayday. We got Branson. And we got Top Dre out of Drum Majors ATL. Um, and we got some other artists as far as like Zarcoca, Heron, Telly, D Woods, just to name a few. We
Okay, so y'all do have a pack then.
Yeah.
Speaking of Atlanta, you brought up an Atlanta artist. You all Hyena Squad has a record with 2 Chainz called Find Out. Tell me how Find Out came to be and tell people where they can Find Out.
Find Out is on all streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, uh, and Apple, everything. But you can find it. It came about. Came out with this record. Uh, Me and Derange Find Out. He came up with the hook, and we wrote our verses. And we thought it'd be clever to have a feature on the track. And we reached out to Flossie the Boss. He had some collaborations for sale. We took upon it and bought it, and we hooked up with Rich Nation out of Miami. Shout out to Mike Boss, and he made it happen. And we got the collaboration and put it out.
Okay. So now, how many projects have you and Derange put out and put together so far?
We have about 4 to 5 group projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are those projects available on streaming platforms, and which one are you most proud of?
The one I'm most proud of is probably the Mafia Mentality, which was distributed by Sony. We met through LT, hooked us up with Jay Wazinski, and we got the official major distribution, and it's been exciting. It's in all platforms, and I was just excited about that because we took our game to the next level.
Well, that was actually about to be my next question. I know you guys and met you guys. I feel like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Through LT. So how did your relationship with LT come to be? And shout out to LT for bringing y'all to me, and so we can get y'all on the platform and let more people know who you are. How did your relationship with LT form?
We met LT through Hot Rod and ATL. He connected us. We met Hot Rod at a show that we did. He liked our style. He liked our flow. He liked our performance. And he said he had a guy he wanted to introduce us to that could take us to the next level. And he introduced us to LT. And it was just a match made in heaven. He's been a good, humble guy. And he's been schooling us on the game. He's been hard on us, and we like that. And he made us better artists and better performers. And that's what it is.
Yeah, LT's a God-fearing man, but he's a pretty tough character. Like LT stays on top of you and stays on top of things.
Yeah. We like that.
No. He like that. I like it takes diligence and organization to make it in this business, and he's very diligent and very organized. So I'm always a big fan of how LT moved. Like, LT was hitting me up today. He was like, my people are gonna be straight. What you got? Where's the link? What time? Da 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 da. I was like, yeah. I was like, we got you, fam. I was like, we got it locked in. I'm like, boom, here's this, here's that. But I think that's what the game takes to make it. Now, how would you describe your style, Iced Out? Like who are some inspirations of yours? and where do you pull your style from? Because I think like you have a very what I like to call traditional Midwestern style, but you have a couple of different things sprinkled in. So like, tell me what you think about your take on your style is.
I think I got original hip hop style, Midwest, little East Coast. Um, I uh, I I was influenced by rappers like Big, Nas, Big Pun, um, Jay-Z, Eminem, just to name a few. Those guys really influenced me, and that's where I pattern my flow off of.
Who do you think is the greatest MC of all time? Iced Out.
Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go with Pac.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with
I'm
Pac.
with that.
Yeah.
So I noticed because I got a lot of people from the D. Pac is real big in Michigan, like real big.
Yeah.
Why do you think? What is it about Tupac's music that connects with the Michigan native? Because I got people in Sag Nasty, I got people in Detroit, and they it appears to be more Pac country than anywhere else in the Midwest.
Pac used to run around Lansing and in Detroit. He collabed with MC Bree before, and that song was big. And they just feel Pac. They like his style. He was just a real MC, and I think that's what a lot of people gravitate towards in Michigan.
Yeah, I think the artists who come out of Michigan have like a social consciousness to them, like historically, and I think the people gravitate towards Pac because of his social commentary. Like my people from Michigan, they like shit that they can feel. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be like all the lyrical wizardry and technical scientific bar work. I think like the Michigan native like shit that they can feel.
Yeah.
So look, this is gonna seem like a little off color, but I gotta ask you because you said you're from mid Michigan, right?
Right.
So you ever ran to Canada to get some of the Afghan weed like my Detroit people used to? You ever had the Gans? You used to go run and get the Gans? Don't lie.
Back in the day, you said,
yeah. You didn't know I knew about the Gans, did you?
Yeah, I didn't know you knew about that.
Yeah.
That's a throwback.
Yeah. My people used to go run and get that and bring that back down to the A back in the day.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Deranged. What's up, fam?
I just reduced to hell. I figure out how to do that shit.
It's all good.
I'm hungry, man. I had to go to the browser. Ask for a lot of them ask for permission. All that, whatever. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. I got a couple questions for you. I've been talking to Iced Out for a minute, so now we're gonna focus on you and apply the pressure to you. Now you're originally from Blytheville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I was doing.
So Blytheville is like the most corner northeastern point of Arkansas, so it's not that far from Missouri or Tennessee. How long did you spend in Blytheville?
Well, I spent a lot of my years in Blytheville, just going back and forth to Memphis, Missouri, and Lansing as well.
Right. I was about to say because Memphis is probably like an hour away, right?
Yeah, over the bridge. Yeah, over the Mississippi Bridge.
Over the bridge. Yeah. Some of the Coopers are from Orange Mound. I got Coopers from the Mound.
Yeah, Orange Mound. That's where A-Bar MJG's from.
Yeah. I got people up there in the Mound, but I know about like Bahalia and Blytheville. Like I've heard of those towns before. So what would you describe the hip hop scene like in that area, and how the hell did you end up in Lansing?
Well, first of all, the hip hop scene, it's talent there, but I haven't been there since 2003. But I have kept tabs on a few artists that got signed to like Gucci Mane and stuff like that, like Big Cuda, something like that, and another younger artist. But it's a good look, but it's not that many people there. The population is probably like between like 30,000, 40,000. And it's still integrated. You got whites on one side, blacks on the other side.
I actually checked. The population is actually about 15,000.
Oh, less than that.
It's 15,000.
I'm just doing a rough estimate from.
No, that's a good rough estimate. I just like to make sure I'm doing my homework. So, you did a little stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like tell me what that's like doing that type of time. Like you was gone for 17 years. How did you? What year did you go away? When did you come back? And like, tell me what that was like transitioning back like into society and finding something like productive and proactive to do, like hip hop.
Okay, like my first stretch I did 4.5. I maxed out. You know, so I was about 19, from 19 to like 23, going on 24. You know, I was wild in the streets, guns and dope, all that. You know, so I stayed out for about a year almost. Then I had to, to try to be a superhero for my female cousin who got abused by her baby daddy. So I tried to off him. He survived. Then, of course, he pressed charges. Then I ended up getting 12 years for that. And I actually, they were trying to give me like life, 20 to life, man.
I'm about to say, they was probably trying to hand you time if you tried to snuff them.
Cause then I called a Fed case for a pistol that was stolen out the QM of the Army, and well, really, they was trying to give me that case as well, because that's what all my cases involved with is carry, CC gun. Put it like that. That gun.
Yeah, gun charges.
Because my first case was accessory for after the fact for a robbery. You know what I'm saying? But fast forward to now, okay. So when I did the 12-year stretch, I actually told my lawyer to go in there and holler at the prosecuting attorney and tell him, like, man, he said he give him 10, he could do that. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong. I was in the wrong, So I knew what I could do, you know what I'm saying? God, you know what I'm saying, was really with me during the time I was spending in that cell. 2 years in the hole, I broke the record for being in the hole the longest. I read the Bible, I read New Testament in like 2 weeks, just trying to get closer to God. I fasted a lot, you know what I'm saying? I quit, well, how should I put it? I quit looking at nasty magazines, put it like that. And I
cut
stopped
the pornography out.
Yeah, I cut that all out, you know what I'm saying? And I was trying to get closer, and I did get closer, and he blessed me with that time. Then I made a covenant with him, like, just give me this time, you know what I'm saying, where I could still be able to make music, come out and do music, because from when I started, when I first started rapping, I was 14, but I liked the music, I mean, since I was like younger, you know what I'm saying, younger than 8 years old, you know what I'm saying, coming up. So God blessed me with that opportunity to come out and still make music. So here I am today, and I've been out going on 8 years straight with no incidents, no run-ins with the authorities. I'm clean now. Got my own record label, Cash Me Out Records. You know what I'm saying? I'm part owner of iStar Records. He made me an owner, part owner. You know what I'm saying? Got a distribution deal with Virgin now. I had a distribution deal on the table with Equity / Rock Nation, but I felt like that wasn't the right fit for me and my company and the artists that I have coming up. You know what I'm saying? Upcoming artists out of Lansing, and then so we got the 1 year distribution with Rich Nation / Universal with the 2 Chainz record. I wrote that record. I'm a good writer. While I was locked up, I wrote over 600 albums. And if you go to my catalog on my page, on my account, I write all my music. You know what I'm saying? I write all my music, man.
Give people the name of the account where they can find that, because I was going to ask you how much material did you have from the time that you were incarcerated, but you said you mean 600 songs or 600 albums?
No, 600 albums. I can show you. I can show you the Foot Locker right now. I'm in my studio right now. I can show you the Foot Locker. You know what I'm saying? I got Ben's music. The Foot Locker over there though. Yeah, but
So
y'all can find me at find my music, The Rain the Messiah. Make sure you put DA, Rain space DA space Messiah on YouTube. Then you can look for it on The Rain the Hook Preceptor. You can see all my videos and stuff like that we got. Yeah.
600 albums. So let's say that you just did 12 songs on average. That means you probably recorded you saying you've written about 4,000 songs while you was locked up? Is that like a fair estimate?
Yes, cause I look before I got locked up on this last case, my mom and one of my exes, they used to try to get me to do gospel music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to start rapping gangster. You need to start doing that. I'm like, man, y'all tripping. So when I got locked up, I tapped into it. It was a challenge. So that's when I came up with God's World. That's when I came up with God's World, and I got DMX on the intro and outro, and he put it on this mixtape, Fresh Blood. You know, it's forever stamp. You know what I'm saying? He gave me the stamp of approval. You know, he put fire emoji like, wow, you fire. You know what I'm saying? All that. So he put me on this last mixtape. You know about it. You out there, right? Fresh Blood. You know, he put me at number 3. So that was a big move for me. And the track list, you know, when you do a track list on the album, you know, you start from like the good, the openers, the album.
You put your heat up top. You put your heat up top to get people's attention.
Yeah, so I was number 3, so I was very honored. You know what I'm saying? Then he put it on topmixtape.com. Then he put it on spitrilla.com, and then he plugged me in with his promotional company, 520, out there in Phoenix. He was living out there in Phoenix doing his show, his reality show.
No, I remember you said the ATVs out on the land and all that shit.
Yeah. Rattlesnakes with his hand and shit. I'm like, wow, I'm crazy. So then Jadakiss tapped in with me. He hit me on Instagram like, good look. I like what you do. I see you working. So I was like, all right, let's work. So I paid him to shout me out on one of his IG stories, right? He did it. He came through. And I forever got that connect with him. Then Rough Riders Radio hit me up. And they put the song on the radio. So, but
okay. So you know, you've answered a lot of my questions for you. I was going to ask how the X thing happened and how that all came to be. And now you said something real strong. We got to get y'all out of here in a minute. But you said something that I've never heard anybody say in like all the interviews I've done, and that's you told me that you made a covenant with God.
Yeah.
You know, he honors all covenants. So do you think that covenant that you made?
Yeah, I can reveal it. I can reveal it because, man, God, Jesus got to understand it. I told him, let me get a deal in the music industry, and I will build 2 churches. I will build a church in my hometown and a church where I grew up at, where I was raised up at, because of the poverty, the genocide, the struggle, you know what I'm saying, the violence, you know. I can't change everybody, but I know I can change a lot of people. You know, I got that influence here in Lansing and in Louisville. Yeah.
So have the churches been built?
No, I ain't got the money yet.
Okay, but you plan on, but you plan on honoring the covenant though.
Yeah.
Okay. What have you thought about maybe donating proceeds from, like, I know y'all have been doing shows and stuff. Have you thought about maybe donating some of the proceeds from shows to maybe start a fund to build one in these areas?
Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good thought. That's a good idea.
I'm more than an interviewer. I'm more than an interviewer. I'm a thinker too. So
yeah. That's what's up, man. I thought, okay. Yeah, you put that in my brain. Yeah.
No. That's just something to think about. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you said that kind of hit me, because it's like, well, the scripture says he honors all covenants. You know what I'm saying? But it works both ways on both sides too. It's like, well, he honors it, but you got to honor it too to keep it up. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And maybe the increase in finances comes with you honoring a piece of the covenant by building the first one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me what y'all are currently working on right now. where we can find it and where y'all are about.
Missionary series coming. I don't know if it's gonna be a series yet. It could be a series, but we got the documentary called Gluttony coming out pretty soon. I got No Drama, my single coming out under the Virgin distribution, dropping June 21st. Then I got the Talking Lancet dropping July 1st under my independent distribution DistroKid. Then I got another album dropping August 1st called Letter to the World. And then, of course, we got to Find Out, you know what I'm saying, circulating through the system. That's doing good. Then Iced Out.
So I got I Ain't Thirsty, I'm Hungry, dropping September 20th on Empire Distribution. That's coming out. And look out for another Hyena Squad album coming soon.
Yeah. And we got artists that we putting out too. So
Yeah. While you was waiting to jump in, Iced Out was putting me on to the whole pack. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all stay in the loop with us, and like, you know, when your other cats is releasing projects, you know, like hit me up, hit LT up. Like LT got my math, like, you know what I mean? LT got my direct line.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? So like, let's make it shake and let's like help put y'all on. Like I was asking Iced Out while you were off, like to kind of explain the Lansing scene to our audience. Like, how would you describe the Lansing scene, Derange?
Well, we got a lot of talent here in Lansing. We just like we ain't being noticed. And we like some of the we had artists like UNLV, y'all remember them? That really took off back then. We had Crime Side, we had Symphony Heights. But ain't nobody really just took off like hip hop like us. And we like the first hip hop group that really got in a good situation, thing like that.
You feel the love when you walk around the town?
Oh yeah, it's love. We got our people behind us. Yeah, everywhere we go, we donate, we sell our merch, we donate some merch, give away, sign autographs. Everybody want autographs, and we can move through the city because this is our city. But we still got to move militarily, you know, because you still got haters, you know. We don't worry about that. We let God control them. You know what I'm saying? We don't pray on their demise. You know what I'm saying? We don't pray anything harmful to them. But in the Bible, we can pray to put our enemies at our footstool.
Yes. There'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth for people who mess with Hyena Squad. Heard that. Well, I appreciate y'all coming out. I appreciate putting y'all on. You know, I don't know if you remember when we met a couple of years ago at the Juneteenth event.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
I threw that event. That was my event.
Your event?
Yeah, that was my event.
Yeah, we was there. Yeah, we had. That was definitely a good,
when y'all was up on Metropolitan in Atlanta for Juneteenth a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my event.
Yeah.
I was there too.
Yeah, that's when.
Yeah, nigga, you was there.
That's when we performed at the bowling alley in Atlanta.
Yeah,
the Metro Fun Center off Metropolitan.
We threw the money in the crowd.
Yeah. Because I kept looking at you like, man, you look familiar.
Yeah, we've met, we've talked, we've done this dance before, my G.
Okay. It came right back around.
Yeah. That's the way the cipher works. So appreciate y'all for helping make the cipher complete. We're about to get started with the rest of our show. I'm gonna tell you, like I told Iced Out, make sure y'all pump this interview like all through the area with your peoples and through all channels. You know what I mean? Y'all are growing, we're growing. We appreciate y'all coming out. Shout out to the homie LT. Shout out to y'all. Shout out for the positive message through all the strife that y'all have. Shout out for y'all putting Lansing on. And we'll chop it up soon, fellas. LT got my math. Y'all can hit me.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate it.
No. I appreciate y'all. Peace. And now, Hip Hop Talks the episode. AG, Sean, what up?
What's good?
You tell me what's good. I mean, I see you. You know, we might as well get started right there. You WV'd out. it's kind of funny. A couple weeks ago, I brought up the now late great Jerry West and how he's one of the greatest players of all time that people don't talk about. Well, he just passed away. AG, I think he, along with Randy Moss, is arguably the greatest athlete to ever come out of the state of West Virginia, which is your home state. So if you wanted to wax poetic for a minute, and Sean and I'll piggyback on it, and we can kind of get the show kicked off that way.
Yes, sir. Real quick, Sean, you on mute?
I'm good now. You good?
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, man, this is a rare opportunity, you know what I'm saying, get to talk about a legend, you know, from my home state of West Virginia. You see the jersey. I ain't gonna lie, this joint's like hella snug, man. I'd have had this jersey since 2003. Like a 21-year-old throwback. So, you know what I'm saying, I had to rep for Jerry West tonight on the show. You know, Jerry West, oddly enough, got some ties to, you know, indirectly to my family. My kid's mother, you know, which would be my kid's great grandmother on, you know, her side, graduated high school with Jerry West. He grew up in Cabin Creek, hence the name Zeke from Cabin Creek, West Virginia, which is approximately about an hour from where I'm located, you know, and he went to college at West Virginia University and then on to the NBA and became what we know as the logo, Mr. Clutch, and one of the greatest players of all time. And, you know, I was sad to hear of his passing. He lived a long life at 86, you know, a dope GM, one of the greatest players ever. You know, Michael Jordan could even be quoted as saying, you know, if he wanted to test his skills against somebody from another era, it would be against Jerry West. You know, that's how much respect, you know, Jerry West had in the game of basketball. And, you know, I just think that he doesn't get enough credit in his career, like Coop alluded to, you know, a few shows ago. I think that his finals record, you know, of 1-8 in the finals kind of, you know, followed him, you know, his whole career. And it was a bad stigma that was put on that. And the one time he did win in 72, I think it wasn't against the Celtics because he could never get over the hump of, you know, Bill Russell's Celtics. But he did get one against the Knicks, and he's the only player, you know, for those of you who may not know, to win an NBA Finals MVP on the losing team. You know, that was in 1969. So that just shows you how great he was as a player. Although I do think LeBron should have won it in 15 instead of Iguodala, but that's another story. But you know, when the Cavs lost to the Warriors. But some of the other dope things he did in his career, you know, he put up, I think his career average in points is like 27 points per game, all before the 3-point line was instated in the NBA, because 3-point line came around 79. Jerry West retired in around 74, so he was putting up buckets. A handful of years, he averaged over 30 a game. He's one of the only people to average 40 or more points for an entire playoffs. I mean, he was a bucket getter. And for me personally, he's on my Mount Rushmore of NBA shooting guards. I know he was a combo guard at the 1 and 2, but, you know, at the shooting guard position, I got him, you know, number 4 behind Jordan, Kobe, and Wade. And all time, objectively, I'd say he falls anywhere between the 10 and 15 spot all time. And I'm proud to say that I'm from West Virginia, the home of Jerry West. You know, so rest in peace to the legend, the logo, Mr. Clutch.
Sean, what you got?
Yo, man, rest in peace to the legend, the logo. AG said it very well, man. Shout out to West Virginia's own, one of the greatest minds of basketball, not just a player, but just a great mind of basketball. One of the greatest executives that the game has ever seen. Put together some of the best teams, know what to look for in talent, all the way up until his death. They had an interview they posted of him a couple of weeks ago where he was talking about the era of basketball versus, you know, he was, I guess he was flaming JJ Redick on some things that JJ Redick mentioned, and he dissected it like so eloquently and just really broke it down on how the game is really played and how it's actually positioned. And for him to be able to articulate that very well in this stage in his life, to me, that shows you how great of a basketball mind he really was, man. So again, rest in peace to a legend. We lost a great one for the NBA world, for the basketball world, and salute to West Virginia. Salute to his family. God bless his family. And yeah, that's all I have. AG said it very well.
A couple things, and then we can slide to the actual hip hop portion of Hip Hop Talks. I mean, people do understand this is the man that got Shaq to LA and got Kobe to LA. He is responsible for the modern day Lakers dynasty.
Yep.
So he and a lot of people don't understand this about how great that he was. Before Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson inserted their prominence and their dominance on the NBA, the all-time great backcourt was Oscar Robertson and Jerry West. Yep. So you have to understand that from the time that he started playing basketball, pretty much till Magic and Michael both hit their prime, mid to late 80s, he was considered to be the greatest shooting guard of all time.
Right.
And I'm like you, AG. I've had him at number 4, but when I really started sitting back and thinking about it, I might have to put him at number 3 ahead of Wade. He's a better shooter than Wade. He played in more finals than Wade. He had a tougher road than Wade. He has a higher points per game average than Wade. He has a higher points per game average than everybody, not except for Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. Luka technically qualifies right now, but we're going to see how Luka ages because, you know, the thing about holding that, like, it's actually more of a feat when you finish your career with that 25 point per game and older, because, you know, you tend to dissipate and have a couple years where you don't average that 25 to 30. Right. And you're right. He averaged 27 points for his whole career without a 3-point line, 10-time first all NBA, all defensive team as well.
Yep. 5 times, right? I think it was 5 times all defensive.
It was 5 or 6, correct. So he wasn't just, and this is what I mean when I have to think about it. He's one of the greatest shooters of all time. Yep. Nobody talks about that.
The midi was crazy.
His mid, right. We talk about guys like KD, Mo Cheeks, and their mid-range game. No, it's like Jerry West is in that conversation for shot and mid-range game. Yeah, because you knew he was going left. You knew he was popping at 15. There was absolutely nothing you could do about it.
Nothing you could do about it.
He was smooth as silk, man.
Yeah, so we lost the legend. I mean, people understand this. This man coached Kareem, bought Shaq and Kobe to the Lakers, drafted James Worthy, helped put together that Golden State team as well, made the Memphis Grizzlies a relevant franchise.
Facts.
He is, if we're talking about in combination of player to front office, he's the best we've ever seen in that role.
Facts.
And so, not only as a GM or a player, just the man. You would never catch anybody saying anything bad about Jerry West when he was alive. Like, he's just an all-around, wonderful human being. Yeah. Everybody who talked about him always had glowing things to say about him. So, we lost a good one.
Absolutely.
No doubt. No doubt. So, fellas, hey, Coop, do you want to get in some Coop Corner or you want to go to some music?
You don't want to let's curb the corner this week and let's kind of get to the music.
Okay, let's get into some new music. So the first thing I want to throw to you guys is the Dre and Snoop joint that's projected to come out next month, July, and that is the Missionary album. It's supposed to be the sequel to Doggy Style, of course. I'm gonna start with you, Coop. How you feeling about this one?
I don't like that they're calling it Missionary. Pause.
It's going to be a positional debate.
I mean, okay, so when we hear Missionary, we obviously know that Snoop's first album is Doggy Style. I don't think a lot of people notice this. Dr. Dre only produced Snoop's album one time.
Yeah.
So this is the sequel. It's literally 30 years later.
Bingo.
Now, I've always said this, and I'm just going to be mindful and careful with this because we're dealing with 2 icons and 2 legends.
Yeah.
You niggas don't stand a chance of replicating Doggy Style in any shape, form, or fashion. The hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Doggy Style, in my opinion, is a top 5 rap album all time. Easy. And you think, you old ass niggas, like you think that you're going to actually do something that comes close to doggy style, they're setting themselves up. They are setting themselves up for failure. But here's what I do love. I love how Snoop is bringing Death Row back.
Yeah.
But this right here, they need to change the name because the name says sequel to Doggy Style. There is no sequel to Doggy Style. You won't be remaking a top 5 rap album all time. I'm funny when people do that. Like when I heard Ghost, they're like, Ghost working on Supreme Clientele too. I was like, tell him I said stop then. How about that? How about he stopped? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like don't do that to yourself because you set up the expectation. It's Snoop and Dre. It's the expectation is already unreasonably high.
It is.
You're gonna do a sequel?
Yeah.
Now, when I hear the Lady of Rage's verse on the Dog Pound album, and when I hear the new Dog Pound album, which is fire, by the way. It's time for our mid-season review, by the way. It's time for our mid-season review. There's been a lot of dope projects this year that we haven't talked about. We need to actually spend like probably a good 3-hour show giving some discourse to those albums. LP, I didn't love the fact that he did the Purple Tape 2. Now, the Purple Tape 2, as far as sequels go, for all-time great rap albums, that is the barometer of how, if you're going to do a sequel,
right,
it needs to sound like that. Do you know what that man had to do to make that sequel? No, he had to pull meth out the bag and Deck out the bag and Ghost out the bag and Dilla and RZA and Dr. Dre. Like, he had to pull out all the stops to do the Purple Tape 2. And even that still, like, how about this? Y'all think the Purple Tape 2 is a top 50 rap album?
No.
I don't think it's top 50. It might be 75. Maybe 75, 80-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a top 5 rap album.
Yeah.
And that's about the best sequel that I've heard from an album that is in that stratosphere.
With
and
that much gap in between with that much time.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, look at the gap. Like, and I love the Purple Tape too. It's probably the best rap album that year.
Yeah.
He's actually one of the few guys walking around with multiple album of the year credentials in Ray with the Purple Tape 1 and 2. Look at the gap. We're talking about a top 5 rap album, 75, 80. And that's the barometer.
Yeah.
So it's just hard. That's why I'm not a fan of sequels. It's like, no, leave that shit over there where it was. I don't know. Call this shit something else. Call this return to the G-Funk era or something. Like, don't call it Missionary. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
That's a tough act to follow.
Call it Welcome to Death Row again. Like, do something else. Something else.
What do you think, AG? Are you anticipating this one?
Coop, hit on a lot of points. My biggest thing is if it ever even sees the light of day, because I won't really get excited about the project until it's on DSPs and I'm pressing play on it. You know what I mean? Because Dre's a perfectionist and it's been countless Dr. Dre produced projects that never come out. We got Detox, we got the Rakim album that was supposed to come out, the Eve album, the Busta Rhymes album on Aftermath. It was a lot of things that never saw the light of day that he was behind. So, and it's July's a month away. I really don't see it happening. If we see a pushback, then that's going to be the first red flag, that it's not getting done. Right. But as far as, the points that Coop alluded to, I think calling it Missionary is setting itself up for failure. And I'm glad LP, because even before he put that in the chat, I was thinking along the lines of Only Built for Cuban Links 2, because there was a lot of space between those two releases. And I think Only Built for Cuban Links 2 was a 4.5 mic album. But that 0.5 that, that is missing in the original Cuban Links, it's a lot of space in that little bit, in that 0.5. You know what I mean? Because personally, Cuban Links to me is the second greatest rap album of all time. It's in my top 5. And, Cuban Links 2, although great, it's nowhere near touching it. So Coop already alluded to that. I don't think it can do it. I don't think it's possible because Snoop is not rapping on the same level. First of all, because he hasn't rapped on that level since 93, and that's no disrespect. It's just a fact. And as far as Dre's production, we don't have a large sample size in modern day of stuff that Dre has done to, you know, make an assessment to see if he could produce something on the level of the original Doggy Style. So basically, I really don't have any expectations, but if it does come out, just as long as it's on the level of the Dog Pound album, because like Coop said, that's a very strong, dope album. I like it that the OGs are back outside. It's a you know, West Coast resurgence of sorts, because, you know, we got the Dog Pound, this album announcement, Big Hit and Game is active. Kendrick won the battle. Vince Staples is outside. You have Blue Lips, Schoolboy. Like, the West Coast is active. So I just like it for the West in general. But we'll see. I'll just say that we'll see.
Okay. So we have another announcement that came out as well from one of our, you know, top dogs for hip hop, and that's Styles P. And he dropped this on his Instagram saying his last solo album will be a 3-part series. Goes to the past, goes to the present, goes to the future. Memoirs of a Gangster and a Gentleman. Corona Queens stand up first and foremost. Queens get the money. I'm be honest, fellas. I don't know about this. I don't know, because this is a lot. This is a 3-part series. Ghost never disappointed us with the rhymes. So I'm not worried about that. I'm curious to what direction he's going with this. It is going to be introspective. It is going to be one of those concept albums that he's putting together. It's going to be that hard shit that we know that he can deliver. What are we going to get from this Styles P? I'm more curious to see who's going to be producing it. If he's going to go back to the grain and get like P Killer, you know, get a little bit of Swizz in there, you know, that old Swizz in there, not the Swizz that we've been hearing, you know, with the Busta Rhymes joints, or anything like that. Blockbuster. No disrespect to Swizz. But you know, Dame Grease, you know, who else they have? Poops, all those guys like that.
He's just coming off the project with Havoc too. He might, you know, tap into some Havoc production.
And that was dope as well. I want to hear a little bit of Havoc in there, but not a lot. I want to hear just a sprinkle of that. But it depends on how we're going to get to it. I mean, this is a 3-part series. And he said this is the last solo joint. So we know what he can do. I'm just curious how you guys feel about Styles P. Because Coop looking like he's getting tight over there. Like you want to go on another rant, man. Come on, Coop. You got to give me one. So far, Coop is not looking forward to this to Snoop and Dre. How about Styles, Coop?
Not looking forward to it at all. Damn. I'm not. What the hell was that? Ghost of what? Who the hell is he?
The ghost of Christmas.
Ghost of the past, ghost of the present, ghost of the future.
Yeah, man.
With the cloudies. What the fuck is that? What is that?
It might be a conceptual joint.
That's what I'm thinking, Sean. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because go ahead, Coop.
No, please. You go ahead. Have fun. Somebody needs to.
You know, sometimes I might be thinking, you know, too deeply into things or whatever and giving artists too much credit. But like I did with the Eminem album coming up, how I wanted to see that be conceptual, right? The same thing with this Styles P, just kind of reading into the titles, maybe it's something like a few EPs that if you put it together forms one lengthy project. You know, this is just me assuming, but based off the titles, past, present, and future, Styles P as a man has went through, you know, some evolving, right? You know what I mean? And he's more of a conscious MC now. He always sprinkled it in there a little bit, but he's more of a conscious MC now. So, you know, say the Ghost of the Present might be on that kind of vibe. Ghost of the Past might be on that hard, you know, gutter street talk that we used to hear a lot from Styles P. And then the future might hold something different. At least that's how I envision the project. I could be way off and totally wrong.
That's how I look at it too, AG. I think his daughter committed suicide several years ago. You know, he's rededicated his life. There's a lot going on with Styles P. So this could be, you know, reflective. This could be some things that he want to get off his chest personally. Let me get these 2 super chats real quick. KL 007, Queens get the money. Salute to y'all. Definitely Queens get the money. Definitely. Tracy G, $10 super chat. Appreciate you, Tracy. As a person who thinks Drake won the battle, as he did everything right with battle rapping, thoughts on rappers influenced by Dot being better than Dot. Tracy's going to be on that hill Dot JID and Coast Contra. We're going to get into that as well, Tracy. So hold that thought.
Hold on real quick, Tracy. I love you, baby. He lost. He lost. He lost. See, I take my victories the way I take my L's, like a grown-ass man. He lost. JID has potential. JID has not, and I love JID's last album. He has not proven himself to be the album maker that Kendrick is, although he has some of the same capabilities as an MC and a storyteller. We will see how he puts the package together.
Yeah.
Close but no cigar. Same thing with Coast Contra. Close but no cigar. Drake lost.
No.
He lost. He's out here doing light skinned things like deleting the diss records off, off social media and YouTube. He's out here. He's doing very light skinned things. Very light skinned things. I told you. He got his hair braided up. He got his hair braided up like Chico DeBarge before he shaved it. It's like I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yo, this is crazy. Yo, any other thoughts? Any other thoughts on how Man Styles?
No, I mean, okay. So here's my thing with the Styles project because I love some Styles. Because I love Styles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, yeah.
What is Styles about to do that he hasn't done before? I would rather hear another Locks album than another Styles or Kiss album if you really want to know the truth. And that's my thought. Because when he says Ghost of the Past, I'm like, how about you scrap that and give me a Locks album? When he says Ghost of the Future, I'm like, well, Styles has never been a futuristic type of guy. He's always been a core fundamentals on his rap, big bully shit type of guy. So it's like I'm worried about what to expect. I am worried about the production. I am. Like, who's doing the production? Because Styles is usually on his East Coast shit. So it's like I'm with you. Is PK and Dame Grease in the building? Are we gonna update the formula and get some conductor up in there? You know what I'm saying?
That'll be dope too.
Pete Rock is sounding very refreshed. We got some PR joints coming, so it's not that I don't want to hear it. It's really dependent upon how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like how he really puts it together. And so that's what I'm actually concerned with right now is how he's actually going to put it together. In a trilogy, 3 albums from a dude who might give us 1 album every 3 years when he was in his prime.
Yeah.
You about to do 3?
Can I ask a question? When was that versus against Dipset? Was that 22?
No, that was. I feel like that's 21.
21.
Yeah.
To your point about wanting the Locks album, cool. Maybe that was something that was in the works, but from the looks of it, Styles P the only one that wants to be in the studio, and that's no shade against Sheik and Jada, but if you're Jada, are you not capitalizing off that notoriety from the verses? It's been 3 years.
I don't know AG because Sheik has dropped a lot of albums, bro. Yeah. Like
how many? I know he dropped 1 since the verses, but has he dropped more than that?
Yes.
Okay.
He just don't promote them. He don't promote them. Man.
Yeah, he just throws them out. He just throws them out, and whoever catches them. Oh, LP, right. I don't agree. That last
I didn't catch those.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing.
You don't promote them.
Here's my thing. Like the Locks has a group. They can still go up the all-time list with a couple more Locks projects.
Right.
Like, where do you have the Locks all time?
As a group,
maybe
group.
7-ish.
I got maybe 10. I got maybe 10. Maybe I don't know.
7?
Because
7 is high for them.
7 is high for me.
I was gonna say 7 or 8. They're in the top 10, but
Are you sure about that?
It might be outside the top 10, bro. I'm be honest with you.
Are we counting duos? Does duo count? Because I'm not counting duos.
No. Mobb Deep counts. 8 Ball and MJG count.
Okay.
Count.
That drops them lower. Okay, because I usually put duos and groups separate. You know what I'm saying? I usually put groups of 3 or more. So
their potential is top 5.
Just off rip, Run DMC, NWA, Wu-Tang Clan, Outkast, Public Enemy, Tribe, De La, The Roots, 8 Ball MJG, UGK.
Who do you have higher? Little brother of the Locks?
The Locks.
I got the Locks up with them. Yeah.
I think it's close.
Okay, so here's where the locks is fading, little brother. It's all the fucking bars on all the mixtapes.
It's the solo work too.
Yeah.
They got the features, the solo work.
That's what I'm saying. Is like they getting little brother just on the mixtape action. That's without the Kiss and Styles and Chic solo projects.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that another great how did y'all feel about the Living Off Experience album?
It was
good.
It was good.
I was a big fan.
It's not classic. It's not great. It's solid.
Do you like it? What do you like more? We Are the Streets of the Living Off Experience?
Definitely album? We Are the Streets. But those beats didn't age as well. But I definitely love We Are the Streets more than Living Off Experience.
I got them neck and neck for same reasons.
But that's what's keeping them from being top 10. Those are their two best albums. That's why they're not in the top 10. Like everybody else in the top 10 has about 3 or 4 albums better than those 2 albums.
And that's not even close.
Right.
3 or 4.
And it's not close.
It's not close. Like, okay, let's take a group like The Roots. Like Illadelph, Things Fall Apart are way better than those albums, like leaps and bounds ahead of those albums.
And to your point, Coop, there's not a definitive solo record either. People consider Gangster and the Gentleman. Some people consider that a classic, but it's not a definitive solo classic record for many of them.
It's great, really good. Classic. It's really close.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's all time great though.
No. It's not a widely renowned classic. Yeah, it's not.
No.
Definitely.
You want to know what could have pushed it over? A couple of Locks joints, because they were in their bag around that time. A couple of Locks joint could have made Gangsta and the Gentleman a classic.
I think it had too many songs.
Yeah, that was 01. Jadakiss was on Fuego in 01.
Right, that's what I mean. But that's what I'm saying, AG, is it if you would have got you some more Kiss and Chic features in there, you probably do have an all-time, because the album's great. It is a little lengthy, but it's there.
Do you put it over Kiss the Game Goodbye?
No.
Yes.
I don't.
I think they're even.
Lyrically, I do. But
you want to know
body,
what?
I don't. Overall body, I don't. Because Kiss
had
the range.
You want to know what it is? It's 3 records. It's Show Discipline with Nas, it's with DMX, and it's the original Feel Me. Those are the over the top moments that I would probably say put the Kiss album over that. Yeah.
And Knock Yourself Out was a banger.
None of y'all better for a Locks joint.
Appreciate this.
Yeah, none of y'all better. We gonna make it. Yeah, you want to know it? It's Kiss the Game Goodbye. It's got We Gonna Make It on there.
I'm still gonna fade Tell Low I Ain't Forgot. I'm still gonna fade that Jeezy album.
Let it go. What? Man. This dude he won't stop, man. Chill out, bro.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it
man.
Go.
We got to revisit Stationhead for that. But anyway, moving on.
Yo, shout out to Deuce for the $20 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. That's all love.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
So keeping in the theme of new music coming out, another Queens Get the Money. LL announced on his IG new album coming. Then he dropped the visuals today for the I want to laugh. It's not funny, but he dropped the visuals for the single. Man, I don't know what the hell LL is wearing, man. And look how he's standing up, man. He's standing up like he's a 50-year-old man trying to be cool.
The
man.
bell bottoms. He's taking Rock the Bells to a whole new level.
L be bugging, man. Queens get the money all day, but L
Rock the Bells.
Yo,
what are these old ass niggas doing? What is going on?
Yo, remember when L used to roll the one pants leg up? Yo, I'd like to see him try to roll one of them joints up.
I go front. I was on that too. I had the one pants leg up with the bandana under the pants leg. I'm not going front.
If he starts to roll the pant leg up now, he'll be here till Monday still rolling it up.
Yo, look at this again, man.
What are they doing? What is that?
He's standing,
what are they doing?
Man. No, we love you, man.
What are these old
LL, we love you, man. Look how he's standing up, though. And you got Rick Ross in the back, and you got.
He looks like fucking. He looks like a black version of T-2000 from Terminator 2. What the fuck is going on?
Yo,
what are these old people doing? What is going on?
Yo, this is crazy. Yo, I'm not looking forward to. I'm being honest.
No. Real talk. Who names an album Missionary? Who decides that they're retiring with the trilogy album? And just who the fuck just does whatever it is that LL's doing? What is going on? None of you are questioning this at all. Is this the LL? I got a question. Is this the LL and Q-Tip album? Is this the LL album that Q-Tip is producing?
I think so.
It's the same one. It's the same one. Yeah.
I think it's been working on this album for 5 years. It better be good.
He has been. And the first single drops tonight at midnight. So it drops at midnight.
He been busy. He ain't had time to hem them jeans.
Yo, come on, man. Yo,
it probably took a year to get in the jeans. That's probably what's been holding the album up, is to do the fucking cover for the one song. The song been recorded. Getting in that outfit's a whole nother story.
Cats are dirty, man. But yo, it's dropping tonight, midnight.
What's
tonight special?
Ain't that a J line? They couldn't hear my long jeans. Ain't that a J line?
It's called Saturday Night Special.
Saturday Night Special.
What are we doing?
Featuring Fat Joe and Rick Ross.
I
don't want to hear Rick Ross and LL on the same joint. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that.
Hold on. Hear that. Who's doing the beat to this one? It's Maybach Music? So this is Q-Tip?
Yeah.
With Rick Ross and Fat Joe and LL?
Rick Ross and Fat Joe are have two of the best ears for beats, period. And let's keep it real.
They do. If this was Justice League, but then again, do I want to hear Justice League and LL? I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect, fellas. I'm sorry. Queens get the money, but I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm just happy the OGs is outside. This is the OG year.
Queens already got the money. What is he doing?
Lady Sue said she heard it. She said it straight. She heard it.
It better be good. Like, how about this? It better be.
I don't want to hear Rick Ross right now. Honestly, Rick Ross made me sick.
You this Rick Ross thing. You got to get over this Rick Ross thing,
man. Rick Ross made me sick.
Yo, on the real though, I think for me, 2024 is everything hip hop 50 years should have been. With all the OGs popping out with projects, you know what I mean? For better or for worse, I love to see it.
Hold that thought, because I'm about to hit Cooper across the head. Pause, because Rakim also have an album coming out, as we know, in July, and he also, I'm sorry, Coop, he also dropped the feature list. Now, Coop had to go through.
What
Coop
is that?
for years.
We gonna make Coop be honest today.
Here's the thing. Coop waited for several years for 3 Stacks to drop an album. It was a fluke, and then he did the flute joint at a festival a couple weeks ago, and it was off. It sounded like trash. So I want to put the spotlight on Coop real quick, because I think it's important for us to. I can't even do it right now. But I need to put the spotlight on Coop, because I want Coop to tell us how he feel about this Rakim joint that's coming out, with the track listing, not the track listing, but the featured artists on this new album that's coming out. I'm sorry, Coop. I didn't want to do this, but AG said you gotta share it.
Rakim look like he's in the upper room.
Come on, bro. Don't do that, man.
That's why it's called God's Network.
No, for real. It's like, you know what room that is? That's the room Professor X walks into before he channels and finds out where all the mutants are. What the fuck is going on?
Cerebro.
We're going to Cerebro. Yo,
what is going on?
You better get canceled, man.
You know,
we better get canceled. This ain't even cool.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about cancel culture in a minute too. Look here.
Yo,
I have defended this man, but I cannot defend this track list.
Can't.
This track list is nasty work, guys. It's too much. Like,
all right, cool. I'm gonna ask you an honest question, because you did defend the 18th letter. So
no. Do you know how many features the 18th letter has? It has the same amount of features all the previous projects before the 18th letter had. That's called Nan.
But
zero.
Let's just agree with you.
In Espanol? Zero.
Let's just agree with you and say that 18th letter is dope, right? Let's say it's dope.
It's dope.
But after that, but what does the conversation look like? Because we have the master after that, then we have 7 Seal, and then we have this project, which we haven't heard yet. So if this project, you know, Lord willing, hopefully is dope, but if it's not, then what does that conversation look like for 3 straight joints for a GOAT level MC to kind of not be it? This question's for you, Coop.
I mean, first of all, that's not fair when Jay-Z's been getting away with it for a long time too.
3 straight?
Would you like the rundown?
Yeah, what 3?
So let's see. What were the last 3 projects he did?
444, then Magna Carta, and Blueprint 3 was for Magna Carta. I like Blueprint 3.
Okay, 2. And when did he do when was that Kingdom Come shit?
That was 06.
So 3 of his last 4 joints have been whack, right?
Yeah, but wouldn't you take any of them joints over to Master or 7 Seal?
I actually like some joints on the 7 Seal. You and I and Holy Are You are some of his best stuff. But I probably still would. Hold on. I'm just trying to find, where's this track listing at again? This is ridiculous. Like, because here's what a track list like this, the Rakim shit. Like, you know what this does? It makes me ask myself, like, how about this? This is a guy more than anybody else that's renowned for his solo missions.
Yeah.
So it's just hard for me to digest this. It's like, okay, how about this? Are Cool G Rap and Cannabis on a song together with him? Because that makes sense. Where does DMX fit into this? Where does Nipsey fit into this? Planet Asia? I love Planet Asia. Do you think Planet Asia and Rakim Styles mix?
I think this has more features than the Ghost album, to be honest.
It does. Like, are Prodigy and Method Man on a joint together? And I'm not being funny when I say this. Why are some of my favorite dead rappers on this album when they've been dead for a while? Why? What Prodigy verse did you get? Did you get a Prodigy verse from 1997? Did you get a Prodigy verse from 2009?
I'm worried.
Prodigy verse did you get? What Nipsey verse did you get? What DMX verse did you get? Not all slain rappers' verses are created equal. And so I'm worried about all the songs with slain rappers. Like, the only thing that makes sense to me about that guest appearance list is like when I saw Cool G Rap and Cannabis, I'm like, oh, so y'all gonna do some bar work on a track together, right? Or you and G Rap gonna go back and forth? Oh, I'm with it if you and G Rap is going back and forth. Like, I'm with that. When I hear you with Planet, is Method Man doing the hook? Or are you rapping with Method Man? And we have to ask these legitimate questions. What does Rakim's bar work sound like after 15 years? Because the reality of the matter is, I've heard one verse from you in the last 5 years. That was on Busta Rhymes' ELE2. Now, I thought that was verse of the year, and I gave it verse of the year because it was the best verse that I had all year. That's one verse. This is an album. His bar work level is let the rhythm hit him. So understand that there are levels to this. He is still a top 5 MC all time in my humble estimation. And I don't want to see his legacy tarnished by a bunch of fucking features on an album. Who's doing the production? Who's pulling all of this together?
He's doing the production. It's all him.
I don't like that.
That scares me. That scares me. Let me get this on super chat real quick, fellas.
Well, here's the thing, just real quick, and then get to the super chat.
All right.
How in touch is Rakim? Like, let's go to this Nas and Hit Boy run. This run worked because Hit Boy's tapped in. He stays current. He was watching my black ass, and I didn't know he was watching my black ass till I interviewed him. He's watching everything.
Yep.
Nas wasn't watching everything. Hit Boy was.
Yep.
Who's watching everything for Rakim to make sure that he stays current and up to date?
Yep.
These old niggas is getting on my nerves today, and I like all these guys. These are some of my favorite people. These are some of my favorite people. But we have to be honest. When I look at that track listing, I say this album has major dud potential. He better execute. It better not be 17 songs with 25 people. And he better have some solo work. I don't want to hear Rakim rap with other guys unless it's a Cool G Rap, a Big Daddy Kane, a Nas, a KRS-One, a Black Thought. If the track listing, if the feature track listing read said featuring Nas, Black Thought, Cool G Rap, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, I'm in.
I'm good with that.
When it says this, I'm like, you've been recording this album for the past 10 years.
I'm gonna be real. I'm anticipating the LL more than this Rakim album, if I'm being honest.
LL has Q-Tip. You should be.
Yeah, I am too. This might sound like a watered down. I don't want to say it. Web visibility. I see your super chat. I'm gonna get to you in a second because you have a great question. I want to use as a transition. So hold tight, please. He got a lot of Dark Man on here. And I love a lot of Dark Man. Wu-Tang Forever. A lot of Dark Man had one of the dopest debut albums.
He did.
Of the century. You know what I mean? Love that joint. But I don't want to hear a lot of Dark Man with Rakim on a Rakim album. I don't.
No.
I'm sorry.
I want to hear the Jizza with Rakim. The Jizza and Rakim.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Right. Like that's what I'm saying is like how about this? If he were to do a record and call a record Scientific Rhyming, like when Nas does the unauthorized biography of Rakim and he goes Scientific Rhyming, like let's say you go get DJ Premier to take that sample and cut it up, and you and Black Thought and Jizza trade bars and do a song over a track called Scientific Rhyming with Primo doing the scratches. You feel what I'm saying?
Somebody make Coop an A&R. Tell them to get Coop over there to A&R this project real quick.
I should have been an A&R. I'm better than all these niggas. These niggas suck at their job. Right. I should have been an A&R. Like I can walk into it. I'm not joking. I can walk into a Yo right now and put together some of these projects better than they're being put together. Because I got the type of attitude and personality where I'm just like, no, we're not doing that. Next. How about that? It's like, oh, you don't want to tell these legends no? I will. No. The answer is no. No, you're not putting that out. We're not putting that out for mass consumption. Do you know who you are? You understand your reputation. My reputation is on the line. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't have to take this. Find some other shit.
And you gotta play it like that. As much as we love Ra should not be producing his own album. I'm sorry.
Not at this stage. Not at this stage.
Not at this stage. I'm sorry. It's going to sound like this. It's like
think about this. If we're sitting up here complaining about J. Cole doing his own production,
right,
at this stage in his career,
right,
with this Rakim precedes him by literally 2 decades,
right, with this lineup, cool, with this featured lineup.
The Eminem era was a nasty era too.
Facts.
Where he was doing all his own production.
It's going to like a Killer Priest or a Sons of Man album.
I don't want to hear no Heavy Mental from Rakim. I don't
want to hear Heavy Mental no more. I'm sorry. I love Heavy Mental in '98 for about maybe 6 months.
About 2 months. 2 months. Beats weren't there. No, I mean,
it's like
should have called RZA. That's all I had to say. Should have called RZA, Fourth Disciple, and True Master.
Facts.
Mathematics.
That's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid this album is going to sound outdated. It's going to sound very outdated. It's going to sound maybe 5 to 10 years because I think Rob probably was working on this probably 10 years prior to now.
Easy.
Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. If he has all these features,
what are him and Nip going to talk about, guys, on a record together? Really?
Well, that's what I was alluding to. We was talking about the production. How much of Rakim's pen is in question with all these features? You know what I'm saying? Because that makes me raise an eyebrow because we're talking about arguably the greatest lyricist ever. You know what I mean? And it looks like he needs a lot of help to finish some of these songs. So he might have one verse on majority of the songs on his album, which is a problem.
You want to know why it's not going to work? Because he's traditionally the type of MC that the more verses that he writes on the song, the better he gets lyrically.
Ramps up.
He ramps up. Like most of his songs, his third verse is usually the best verse.
I was just about to say that. The third verse is the home run hit. But now
that's what I mean.
Right. He's sharing that.
He's musically inclined. So because he's musically inclined, he writes it like a build up.
Right.
Intro.
Don't want to hear cannabis on that. Yeah.
What if here's a hypothetical question. What if the album is full of the Watcher 2 level tracks where Rakim's now granted there's no Jay-Z on the album, but let's just use that as a barometer, right? What if it has about 10 of those on the album? Then what would you have to say about that?
Outdated.
It's not enough.
It's not
outdated.
It's like, how about this? This to me is his level. The Saga Begins was the last track that I heard from him where I'm like, that can go on your greatest hits.
Yeah.
And that's his level. Like, you don't want to see your idols operate on less than their best level.
No doubt.
He is one of the few idols that we are used to seeing operate lyrically on the highest level when we hear him. Now, the master, not that big a fan of. I feel like the 7th Seal is better than the Master. I do think the 18th Letter is dope.
It's close.
I don't think it's great. I don't think it's some sort of brilliant manifesto. I think it's a really good album. I think what hurt that album also too was production, and he had Clark Kent, Primo, and Pete Rock, and he was still hurt by the production.
He did. He did.
It's a fine line when you're talking these things. You're telling me he's produced an album. How old is Rakim?
56.
55, 56.
He's born in 68, born in January 68. 56.
56, yeah.
Yeah.
You trust a 56-year-old to produce a rap album who hasn't made a rap album in 15 years?
I don't. Not someone of his ilk. No.
I mean, I like it that the OGs are back outside, but excuse me. But to that point, you know, how do y'all feel about and I seen somebody put it in the chat, how much Nas might have influenced that move?
Don't go there yet. Don't go there yet.
Oh, my fault. Good.
I got you. Because there's a super chat I want to get to on that. Let me get to Mad Max real quick. And we're going to hold that thought, though. Mad Max said, chill out. Rakim about to drop a classic. Mad Max, for Coop's sake, I hope so. Coop can't take another L this year. I mean, we got 3 stacks, and now we got Ra. Coop can't afford to take another one. So I'm hoping for Coop.
It'll probably be better than KRS's last effort.
Whoa, man. What's wrong with
KRS's last effort was dope.
Just messing
with you, man. Yo,
KRS's last effort was dope.
I'm just messing with you, Coop.
You know, all these guys were on tour. Like, I don't know, man.
Cool. Let's redeem it, man, because we have another OG dropping with Coop is disgusting. We're gonna redeem it, Coop.
This has been a terrible show for me.
So we got Common and Pete Rock. Right now, I think fellas, they're 3 for 3.
These guys are cooking.
Yeah, they're cooking. I love the promo run. I love their interviewing with everyone. I love how they're getting out here. I love how they're talking about the album, how they're talking about hip hop. You got Common breakdancing. You got a lot going on with this album coming out.
Ciphers, freestyle ciphers.
Freestyle ciphers. I love it. I love the energy around it. This is old school promotion. This is 1990s promotion that they're going through. They're going through an entire press run, and they're 3 for 3. Common is spitting like crazy right now. The Pete Rock beats are on point. This is the one I'm looking forward to. This is the one we're going to be talking about a lot. But it's a volume 1, so that means more coming. So pause. So I want to ask you, Coop, does this pleases you? Does this one pleases you?
Finally, a reprieve from these old ass niggas. This is the reprieve.
Yes.
They're 3 for 3.
3 for 3. Easily.
Unfortunately, that first one's not on the album, though, right? It wasn't on the track list.
I don't know. I haven't seen the checklist.
Yeah, that first joint they put out, I forget the name of it. It's not on the I don't think it made the album.
Well, here's what I know. I know Common rises to the occasion of the quality of producer that he's working with.
No doubt.
He always has. The better the production that you give him, the better he performs. His best 2 albums, lyrically, in my opinion, 3 have Dilla and Kanye all over them in their prime.
No doubt.
Pete Rock is giving him a soundscape that fits perfectly for him. Like Common, of all the guys who are not from New York, he is the one that fits into a traditional New York MC mode over any other MC that's ever walked this planet.
That's true.
So Pete has Calm in the bag right now.
He does.
But there are levels to this, and there is a bar. And that bar is called Nas and Hit Boy with the Magic 1, 2, 3 and KD 1, 2, 3. So we're going to wait and see. But right now, it looks like we finally found another OG MC producer combo that's actually going to give them maybe some sort of legitimate run for their money. So, and that's what I like. Hip hop is a competitive sport. I like the fact that when we heard the Hit Boy run, it was the best we had heard from Nas in years. I have similar sentiments about what I'm hearing from Common right now. It's like, oh no, that's the guy from B. That's the guy from Like Water for Chocolate. That's the guy from Finding Forever. That's the guy from One Day It'll All Make Sense. Oh, that guy's coming out to play. That guy's a top 10 to 15 MC all time. Somewhere between 10 to 15.
Easy.
That guy. Like, that guy, when he comes outside, is part of the reason why I'd be like, whoa, slow down with that Kendrick top 10 talk. Slow down with that talk. Because I don't know if he can rap better than that guy. And guess what? He doesn't have a better catalog than that guy. Very few people have a better catalog than Common.
That's true.
So he's in his bag right now. This is actually what I hear. I hear a legit contender for album of the year when I heard those 3 tracks. That's what I really hear. I hear album of the year contender. And I don't just throw that around. Like if the album sounds like those 3 tracks, it's going to be album of the year.
Mm-hmm.
When it drops. That's how I feel. And that's saying a lot because there are a lot of good to great projects this year. AG, you alluded to some of them. We got Master Ace album. We got Schoolboy's album. We got Rhapsody album. We got the Dog Pound album. We got both albums that Hit Boy produced. The one with Big Hit and Al. The one with Big Hit and Game. Mm-hmm. We got. There's been. Have you heard the Mock Homie? The Mock Homie.
It's crazy.
That shit is bananas.
Yeah, crazy.
The Rock Marcy.
Rock Marcy's crazy.
The Rock Marcy's crazy.
The Dog.
This is one of the Dog Pound is crazy. Vince Staples. Have you heard Vince Staples' album?
Yeah, dope.
That might be Vince Staples' best album. Like, it's up there. And so what I'm saying is we're having a year right now where it's like, oh no, the top 10 contenders is all contenders.
Yes.
Where's the separation moment? Who's going to separate themselves from the pack and be like, nope, bar setter? Because we still haven't, for as great as as much as I love all these albums that I just mentioned, I don't feel like any of those albums has separated themselves from the other albums in their group.
Nah, it's bunched up right now. Yeah.
It's bunched up. Who's going to separate themselves? When I hear the Calm and PR, I'm like, oh, I hear a little separation.
Yeah.
So it's all about if the separation is going to be consistently through the 15-track album. It's a 15-track album, right?
Yep.
I was listening to that mock today, and I was like, damn, this might be album of the year. But then I listened to the Dog Pound. I'm like, oh, no, that might be album of the year. And then I listened to the Rhapsody. I'm like, no, that's album of the year. Then I listened to the Master Ace. I'm like, no, that's album of the year. That's not genuinely how album of the year is built. But I say all this to say, I really don't care. J. Cole better drop album of the year, like I've been saying for the last 2 years. I'm not giving him a hall pass. I'm not letting it slide. You're not walking away from this year. I'm not going to let you walk away. I'm not going to let you walk away from this year. You better make the album of the year this year.
And he stepped on his own release because let's keep it a buck. Might delete later was dope, and he just put out a visual for Trade of Truth and Ibiza. He just put that out the other day.
No, Might Delete Later is a top 10 rap album this year too. You're right.
I'm good.
But he took. He stepped on his own release. It don't hit the same.
Good enough. It's not good enough though, because you want to know what it is. It's bunched in with all these other albums. I'm not interested. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, I don't care.
I want to hear the album of the year.
And he did Grippy.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
We've already had to. Haven't y'all done enough to me today? Y'all got LL and fucking 1974 bell bottoms.
We're not done.
Rakim has 92 features for 12 songs. This is ridiculous. Styles P is making a 50-track trilogy like he's Prince or something. This shit is ridiculous out here.
Triple album.
This is wild.
The song, it just hit me. Trying is the name of the first joint they released. It didn't make the final track list.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not on there.
When a song like that doesn't make the final track list, people are in trouble.
Right.
Trouble.
That's telling you what they got.
But like you said, Sean, I just like the rollout of the album. It's not like the Killer Mike rollout where he's every turn saying this the album of the year, this the album of the year. They just pulling up and giving us straight hip hop. You know what I mean? It's a dope rollout.
When you have album of the year, you never have to say you have album of the year when you have album of the year.
That's a
Michael
fact.
Jordan never said that he was the greatest basketball player who ever lived. There's no footage of him saying that.
Nope.
None.
Now he'll tell you He's like, I won 3 in a row. Magic and Larry didn't win 3 in a row. He'll tell you that shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, here's something to think about. They never won 3 in a row. I won 3 in a row, but he never walked out and said,
Right.
but he never walked out and said, I'm the greatest player who ever lived.
Yeah, do
No,
what you gonna do
he
with
never
that
said that.
information.
When you got it, and you know you got it. Did you ever
Right.
hear? During this Hit Boy and Nas run, did you ever hear either one of them say, "Oh, we just made album of the year again"?
No.
Did you ever hear either one of them say it? Oh, but they knew it was going on.
I don't like
They
Killer Mike.
knew. When you know, you don't gotta say it.
Yo, when Killer Mike did that jig dance on the stage in the Grammys, I was disgusted. Sorry, Coop. Shout out to
I
Orlando.
just can't win today.
You can't win today. I'm sorry.
There'll be
Yo,
no wins.
let me get this super chat because this is a great transition super chat. Yo, I'm sorry, web visibility. I heard on to your super chat, but I really wanted to get this as a transition. Web visibility with a $10 super chat said, if you think Nas inspired all the OGs to start putting more content out, I think you have to appreciate how Nas has avoided looking corny like these other old heads. Perfect transition. Because I have a question for both of you guys. I honestly feel when Nas said on the Magic 3 joint, he wanted his peers to feel this way as well and to get in the studio and get back active. I think that was a call to arms because this is the first time in a long time, probably ever, that we've seen all the OGs like really coming out back to back. Everyone is putting something out. And not only that, they're using the formula. You got Common and Pete Rock, MC producer, right? That's an old formula. You got LL and Q-Tip. That's an old formula. You got Dre and Snoop, old formula. You got the MC and producer. Sound like it's a Nas and Hit Boy thing. Then you also got the volumes, volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, or whatever the case may be. So everybody is coming out with that formula that something just dropped with Hit Boy. I don't think we're going to appreciate the Nas and Hit Boy run until a couple more years when we look back at it and say, yo, they probably reset a different trend when it's back to the MC and the producer. Because you guys remember, there was a whole thing where it was an MC and the super producers. You had one MC and you had a collective of mad producers out there that just producing one album. So the album sound was all, it wasn't cohesive at sometimes, right? But now you had Nas and Hit Boy locking in the studio and you have a succinct album. And I think we're going to get that same thing with Pete Rock and Common because you got Pete Rock and it's like having fried fish and tartar sauce or, you know, you having peanut butter and jelly. It just makes sense. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think Nas called the arms to the OGs to come out again?
I feel like there hasn't been this many old niggas in one place since the Million Man March. Shout out to Farrakhan. I haven't seen this many old niggas in one place in a long time.
On a more serious note, the line that you speak about, Sean, that's on 1-800 Nas and Hit. He said, I called my counterparts, told them they got to try this shit, you know? So I do think it was a call to arms. And for me, like I said, all the OGs coming out, I think this year in 2024 is everything that last year Hip Hop 50 should have been. Now, with that said, I think what is going to be the final verdict is going to show that there's levels to it, right? Nas is calling, you know, making a call to arms with all his counterparts, but he's going to show how far separate he is from the pack to make 6 joints that are all solid, not even solid, all super dope albums.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when people in your class, you know what I mean, come out and they can't duplicate that, then it's really going to show really the level of greatness that he was operating at when he did that, you know, like the LeBron quote, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 6 times, you know what I mean, at a higher age and a high clip, you know what I mean, around 50. So, you know, we're going to see, you know, how this all pans out. I'm glad that they're outside, but like I said, it's going to really, like to your point, Sean, I think we're going to look back on the Hit Boy run with Nas and appreciate it even more when, you know, not saying that all the OGs are going to have a swing and a miss, but, you know, if a lot of them don't connect, then that just makes the Nas album run even that much more greater, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I mean, not everybody's going to succeed in this mission.
No.
And so, you know, although it may seem like I'm joking and I'm saying a lot of things in jest, on a very, very serious note, most of these albums are not going to be what we expect in reference to who the artist is. Nas and Hit have set an extremely high bar. Like, it's going to be hard. Like I told, like, this is the latest, greatest run that we've ever seen from a hip hop artist, maybe an artist in music history. I can't think of one artist in the history of music that from ages 47 to 50 made some of their best material.
Facts.
Michael Jackson didn't do it. Prince didn't do it. The Beatles didn't do it. The Rolling Stones didn't do it. Tom Petty didn't do it. Bruce Springsteen didn't do it. Bob Dylan didn't do it. Joni Mitchell didn't do it. Like, we can run down all facets of music. Mary J. Blige ain't do it. Erykah Badu ain't do it. Jodeci, TLC, like, R. Kelly, nasty ass bastard, he ain't do it. Usher ain't made a dope ass album in a long time. Neither is Chris Brown.
Yeah,
These niggas ain't even close to 50. Well, Usher getting
right.
closer to 50.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? And so we really need to, and people have to understand something. They're like, oh, Coop, you're just a Nas fan. It's like, no, like, I might be a fan, but you understand, like, I'm a journalist first. The journalist inside of me is like, hold on, we need to be documenting this. We might not see it again, seeing how we've never seen it before in the history of music. Right. And so while I love what all these people are doing, and I'm sure there's going to be quality records, like the Rakim album is going to have some quality joints on it. It's Rakim. The whole album ain't going to be like, oh, throw that away. It's Rakim. There's going to be some good records on there.
Yeah.
But the bar is different because of the bar work in the production of the Magic and the KD series. It's like, oh no, good isn't good enough anymore if you're old, because he just showed that you could be great.
Right.
And so now if your shit's just good, I hope you're ready for the critique that comes with it.
Absolutely.
Like, do I think LL and Q-Tip, Queens Get the Money, Squared, do I think they're going to have some joints? Q-Tip's one of the best. Q-Tip in the early 90s is the only producer who's really rivaling Dr. Dre in terms of quality album material. Do I think LL Cool J is probably our best hit maker, like, in a vacuum ever? So do I think they're about to have some joints? Of course I do. But then the question becomes, well, is it going to sound like KD2 or Magic or KD3? Probably not. Is that Rakim album about to sound like KD1? Maybe. Probably not. And from what I'm seeing and from what I'm reading and from what I'm hearing, the only people that even are making a legitimate shot to make a run at this are Calm and PR. Yeah. And the reality of the matter is that, well, you niggas do know one album ain't gonna do it. And guess what? Neither is 2 or 3 or 4. Right. You niggas gonna keep your win like that? You gonna keep your win like that and keep running? Let's be realistic. And so I think we need to appreciate the place in the space where Nas and Hit going on this run has activated people to attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Activation doesn't mean you're going to meet expectations.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's
and
a fact.
You know, to your point, Coop, just keeping it funky. That's why we got to keep, you know, some level of optimism to see if they can pull this off, right? Because let's be real. You know, I know for me, when I saw the KD1 track list, you know what I mean, and then Hit Boy producing the whole thing, I was a little bit skeptical. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I didn't say it's going to be like bad, but looking at the features and knowing the Hit Boy was behind the boards, I didn't know what to expect. So, you know, with that same optimism, I noticed Rakim track list look crazy. I mean, the feature list, but we have to operate on some level of optimism, going in. I mean, we might be disappointed, but I'm just saying, keep hope alive, as Jesse Jackson would say.
I hear what you're saying.
That's crazy.
I hear what you're saying. Jesse Jackson could never put black people together like Farrakhan could. All right, never did that.
Jesse Jackson, that is wild.
Listen here.
Show my age today, bro.
I understand what you're saying, AG, but I think what I'm trying to say is that you're right. Like when I saw the track list for KD1, and it was like, I was looking like produced by Hit Boy. I was like, all the records produced by Hit Boy. I was looking like this. I was like,
yeah, I was worried.
I was like, oh shit. I'm like, what the fuck is Godson on? I was like, I like Hit. I was like, Hit's dope. I was like, Hit. I'll tell Hit to his face. It's like, oh, I didn't think you was dope enough to do a whole Nas project by yourself. Yeah. Until you did
6 times over.
Until you did it. But what people forget is that we didn't start talking about what Hit did until he did it twice.
Yeah.
It wasn't until KD2 came out that it was like, oh shit, they on to something.
Right.
Like, oh no, this special. Oh, hold on. And then Magic came out 3 months later, and we were like, oh, the NBA Jam. He's on fire.
Here we go. Yeah.
NBA Jam. So understand that we didn't really take notice the way that we should until joint number 2. And we didn't realize what was really going down till joint number 3. And so respectfully, all you niggas gonna have to do better. Period. Yeah. End of discussion.
Yes.
Like, we're not handing out fucking icon awards and trophies around here and shit. What it sound like the day since you stepped outside? Did you come outside to play? If you came outside to play, this is the bar. This is the barometer. And if your shit's just okay, I'm gonna tell you your shit's just okay. I don't care who you are. If it's just okay, I'm gonna tell you it's just okay. J. Cole better make album of the year. I'm gonna say that again. I want people to hear me clearly when I say this.
He's not cool.
And Nas still cooking up with Primo. So if that one gets knocked out of the park, that's a run of 7 in a row. Not, all with Hit Boy, but 7 dope joints in a row is crazy.
Now riddle me this. Why would you drop a Nas and Primo joint in the year that you're celebrating the 30th year anniversary of Illmatic and you're literally touring the globe celebrating what might be rap's greatest album of all time? Is it feasible that album's happening this year is what I'm asking you?
I think it is.
Have you seen the tour dates?
I think it is, because he did the same thing around all the Hit Boy releases. So I don't think that's nothing for Nas, really.
But understand,
Primo is different.
Thank you, Sean. It's different.
Primo is different, bro.
Yeah, Primo has the lock in. He doesn't work at the high, pace, fast clip that Hit Boy does. So, it depends on how long.
And the expectation is different.
Expectations are different. You can't play around.
It just depends on the timeline, because let's just hypothetically say Magic 3 was last year in September. So if they got to work shortly thereafter, Define My Name, time flies, that came out April. So that was already, over 2 months ago when Define My Name came out. So it depends on how much work they got in the studio already up to this point.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't care what they work or how they work or when they work. Even he has a bar now. And
absolutely.
A Primo album, a Nas and Primo album, it's like it better be better than at least 3 of the albums that Nas and Hit did together.
You got
at least.
At the very least.
That's the buy-in. That's like that's to sit down at the table and play cards. It's like, what's your buy-in? Needs to be better than 3 of the 6.
To the old head Dusty niggas, at least, because they the ones that was saying the whole time that he was putting out the joints with Hit Boy, like, I'd rather him do the joint with Primo. All right, now that time has come. So we're gonna see what it is.
Niggas don't know shit. All right.
No, trapping the 90s.
They don't know shit.
Right.
Yeah, they trap. They stuck.
Let's get the super chat real quick.
Go ahead.
You appreciate you, Well. But $10 super chat. Do you think Nas inspired all the OGs to start? I'm sorry.
Yo, that's the same one you had already read.
Do you guys think Nas and Premier would drop before the end of the year? And do you think there would be a New York State of Mind 3 on the album? It all makes sense. It all makes sense. But like Coop said, what's the rush at this point? He's on tour.
Okay, so here's the level up. If he's going to do a New York State of Mind Part 3, like he's going to have to touch on topics that are just like he's going to have to maybe get too personal.
I say leave that alone.
Like in order for New York State of Mind to hit, he would have to discuss the inner workings of the J beef. He would have to discuss his mother's passing. He would have to talk about fallout with members of his inner circle. Like it would have to be next level for him to even attempt that.
It's a lot.
And those are things he already spoke on.
He has, but you know, he has a way of reweaving. He has a way of restitching stuff. He has a way of restitching stuff to give you the full picture of it that very few people are blessed with as a writer.
If you listen to, you know, each song samples the previous. If you listen, this is a vibe. If you listen to It Ain't Hard to Tell, Nas's Light, and Define My Name in a like a little playlist in a row in succession, crazy. You know, he's tweaking the same concept, you know, just a little bit differently, and each song samples the previous song, and it's masterful. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't done it, listen to those 3 songs back to back to back.
I mean, not to be funny, a lot of people don't know this. Is like, you know, he tells the same crime story multiple times. He just gives you different settings and locations, like a good writer is
different vantage points.
Yeah. Like Get Down and the setup aren't that much different stylistically, like writing wise. Right. But I roll with some Crips to a Crenshaw funeral. You get what I'm saying? He's switching coasts, but like the writing hand and how he's breaking it down, like there's a setup that literally happens on Get Down. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, no, you got a whole record where you're expressing like the setup. Like that's one of his central theme points as a writer, but he knows how to express it from all the angles like a great writer does.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah,
absolutely. So I'm looking forward to all of it. You know, again, hoping that Nas and Preem can lock in the right way and give the people what they want. I'm just looking forward to it. I'm glad we were able to talk about this new music coming out because we're going to review all of this stuff that's coming out in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. And Coop's going to have to do it too. He's going to have to review Rakim album when it comes out. He's going to have to.
Not looking forward to it. Let me ask you all something. I'm not looking forward to it. Don't want to review that. What is that? The first single got Master Killer and Corrupt. And so it's like, so are we doing quote unquote bar seminars on every Rakim record? Are you getting together all the bar seminar guys and like it's a bar seminar? Because it's like I don't go to a Rakim album for that.
Right.
I go to Rakim to hear the God.
Right. Right. 2 to 3 verses. Three is the
at least 2. If you telling me that most of these records are going to have 2 Rakim verses and somebody's either going to lead off or finish off, I can maybe tolerate that.
Right.
But no. But here's my question to you, to both of you, and I want to know what y'all really, really think of this. What if the Nas and Preem album doesn't meet expectations? What does that do to Preem's legacy? Because I think Nas' legacy is secure because of the Hit Boy run and even because of how he sounds on the shit that we do hear from him without Hit. Do you think Preem's legacy potentially stands to take a hit for not making something on par with Hit Boy? Because nobody's really willing to have that conversation. It's like, oh no, his ass on the line too, like everybody else's is.
Right.
He ain't no different. Preem don't get no hall pass. I know you made 10 Crack Commandments. You made it 27 years ago. So we're not handing him out any hall passes either, are we? So his shit better be fire, right?
Depends on what bar we're talking about. Or we're talking about the realistic bar that you said, which would be at least has to be better than probably half of the Nas and Hit Boy albums, like better than about 3 of them. That's a realistic bar. But it's a lot of people out there thinking that they're going to get the second Illmatic. And that's the bar.
Who's sniffing that cocaine?
It's a lot of people out there, bro.
It's a lot of drug abuse. It's a lot of drug abuse going on in America. It's a lot of drug abuse going on in America. No, that's not realistic. But what I'm saying, how about this? What if What if the first Nas and Primo joint isn't better than King's Disease 1? What should we in hip hop media say?
I would be happy with that because I think King's Disease 1 is dope.
Where do you rank King's Disease 1 in the series of the 6 albums?
5th.
If it's 5th and they don't make an album that's that good, that means they don't even make an album truly that actually registers on what Hit Boy and Nas did. What the fuck are they doing making an album together? He could have just made another album with Hit if that's the case.
So, okay, like I think King's Disease 1 is a 4 mic album. So you think it's 4.5 mics or bust? Is that what you're saying?
It's Nas and DJ Premier, AG. You tell me what you think. Isn't that, man? Hold on. How many 4.5 mic albums do they have separately?
A lot. Yeah.
So shouldn't that be the bar? Like, doesn't Preem have Moment of Truth? Like, how about this? He made a group home album of 4.5.
Yeah. And but
how many
I'm not worried about Nas. I'm not worried about Nas reaching that bar. I'm more worried about Primo reaching that bar.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Primo is taking a lot of albums from classic East Coast artists and literally with a track or 2 or 3 taking those albums from 4 to 4.5. Is he not that guy?
Yeah, I think it's doable. I consider the first Prime album 4.5, not the second one.
I don't.
I'm a Royce fan though, so
I'm a Royce fan too. But that's a 4. That's a 4 to me.
Yeah, solid 4.
Wow. Hold on. You think Prime's 4.5?
The first one, not the second one. Not the second.
How?
One.
No, I get what you're saying. How?
I got a 3.5 to a 4.
3.5. Sheesh.
3.5 to a 4. That's me being generous.
Even the deluxe version can't get no love. Like an extra half a mic. That's crazy.
4. No. 4 and then 3.5. 1 is a 4. 2 is a 3.5.
Yeah.
Maybe even
range.
A 3.
I want to hear range.
Yeah.
From artists like that, I need to hear range.
Like, but think about it.
Nas has more range than Royce anyway. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about the MC.
Yeah. I mean, Nas has more range than like 95% of the rappers who have lived. So
but that's what I'm saying. If he can give Royce, even if you're saying it's a 4, not a 4.5, if Primo can give Royce a 4, then I'm not too worried about what he can give Nas. You know what I'm saying?
AG, respectfully, when did Prime come out, my G?
What was that? 16, 17?
8 years ago?
Yeah.
Like I said,
point proven. Let's move on. Let's get off of that one. Go down the rabbit hole.
But that's what I'm saying. That's more an indictment on Primo than it is on Nas. Is all I'm saying.
Let's move on.
I don't care. Look here. I don't care who getting indicted. Y'all co-defendants now, so you both about to catch this charge.
Yeah, that's
as long as it don't have 30 features like this Rakim joint, man.
Yo, man, let's get off of that, man. Shout out to all the OGs who's coming out with songs, albums.
Somebody gonna catch the Rico if this album ain't good.
Even Memphis Bleak got a joint coming out with Just Blaze, Do Rag Bleak. So Memphis Bleak, one of
Bleak's back.
The GOAT. Bleak the GOAT.
Bleak is back. Memphis Bleak.
Yo, mute AG's mic for 30 seconds. Like there's gotta be some sort of sanction for this type of behavior on the show.
It's gotta be. We need to mute and cancel.
Nah, I rock with Bleak, man. I'm one of the only people that defend Bleak's music, man.
Of course.
Bleak low key has made some really dope records.
He has.
Yeah. Back in 99.
Even joints without Jay on them.
Yeah, 99, 2000. Yeah, 99, 2000. Well, he should stay. Let's get into cancel culture, man. So let's wrap the show up. Our last leg of the show. Let's get into some cancel culture talk. It's culture, period. And I want to start with Will Smith because the Bad Boys movie just came out. Big success. Big success. Massive success. Actually, they already recouped what they made in this movie, and they're talking about making another one to follow this one up. I believe the movie made 104 million over its run first weekend.
That's crazy. Look,
crazy.
In a time where Tubi and Hulu and Netflix and YouTube TV and YouTube like exist, you made 100 million. That's like that's like reverse inflation. It's like that would have been 500 million back in the old movie days, like when movies were actually like big. I didn't even know movie theaters were still open until this movie came out. Did you know that? Did you know movie theaters still existed? I didn't know until this movie came out that movie theaters.
You're right. You're right. The movie industry is suffering right now. Movies are suffering right now.
If it's not like a Marvel blockbuster or something like that, it's not doing numbers.
Not doing numbers. Is this an example of the bounce back from someone? As long as you make a hit, you're coming back. Because now this is a hit.
Literally, right?
Literally, right? Punk ass Stephen A made a comment saying, "Oh, he need to sit down with the black community." Steve,
what did he say?
Sit down with the black community. What do you mean?
Hold on. I've been hearing that Stephen A said something that had like the community in a little ire. Like, what did he say? He
said Will still need to sit down with the black community and discuss this slap on Chris Rock. But
look here. And I mean this with all due respect to Chris Rock, who quite frankly might be the best stand-up show that I've ever seen live. And I've seen Dave Chappelle live, and I thought Chris Rock actually gave a better live show than Chris Rock. Because I thought Chris Rock gave a better live show than Dave Chappelle because he's more organized and diligent about his craft than Dave is.
Yeah.
When Will Smith slaps the shit out of you, even if you're Chris Rock, you're the guy who got the shit slapped out of you by Will Smith. I hate to be the one to break it to everybody. It's like, did you hear Will Smith slap the shit out of somebody? It's like, who's the other guy? Chris Rock? It's like, yeah, but the main guy's still Will Smith. You understand, you're still a secondary character. You're a supporting actor in this role.
Yeah. Right.
You're not the star in this role when Will Smith slaps the shit out of you, just so we're clear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the talk isn't that think about it. The talk was never Chris Rock got the shit slapped out of him. The talk was Will Smith slapped the shit out of somebody. Best slap in a leading role goes to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never looked at it from that perspective, but you're right.
Look here. This is The Godfather, and Will Smith is Marlon Brando. Rest of you niggas is Robert Duvall. All right, James Caan. Sit your ass down somewhere. You're getting supporting actor nomination. You should be happy he slapped the shit out of you. Take the supporting acting nod. You're not winning. You're not winning best actor. You're not the lead in this role. You're not big enough.
Just take it like this. You gotta slap. You gotta slap. It's time, but you know what? It's time for everyone to move on. Stephen A. Smith is the last person in any genre to say this. He's this guy. He's another I don't like. I think it's Rick Ross, Stephen A. Smith, Killer Mike, and there's a couple more out there. But Stephen A. Smith might be number one for me. He might be number one for me. Someone need to slap Stephen A. Smith. Real talk, because he said, "Oh, he need to sit down with the black community before he get back." Like, nah, you need to sit down with the black community. You're the one who's been saying some wild stuff for years. And now you want to act like you this righteous guy, and you're not. Stephen A. Smith is the worst. So again, cancel culture is not real. This is an example of that. And I want to go over to Coop's, hometown Atlanta, because Atlanta also put this banner out there for Gunna. Welcome back to Atlanta, Gunna. And we were just canceling it, not we, but social media just canceled Gunna. What? A couple months ago, and now look at these banners. Now they're showing him love in Atlanta. So
when Taj sent me the pics, like she sent me and you the pics, Sean. It's like I just went, I went and did my little dig. I went and texted a couple people, asked a couple questions, and here's what I realized: it's a bunch of punk ass kids on social media doing all the canceling, whose faces we never see.
Right.
I'll say it again. Fuck these kids.
Here we go again. That's your man's. AG, that's your man's.
These punk ass kids keep trying to dictate the pace. But you know what we're finding out from Will Smith and from Gunna? These punk ass kids don't go outside. They just be online clicking and clacking. And it's not real. It's not real. It's an illusion. It's fucking David Blaine, David Copperfield.
Yes.
David Kim engineering for Nas and Hit, making magic happen.
Yes.
Bullshit.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's not real.
It's not real. It's not real.
Diddy getting canceled is different. He's been running a prostitution ring of boys and girls for a long time. Apparently,
Yeah, that's a different. That's a different thing. Pause.
Different
thing.
Yeah.
So
you're trafficking out here. That's different. Go ahead.
I want to ask AG because now we see that Gunna is getting love. Young Thug's father took a picture with Gunna. So we keeping in a theme.
He was talking shit on social media about Gunna this time last year.
Right. Now you hugging him, taking pictures with him, and you at the concert.
Hey, you want to know why though? That's because there's niggas that's getting on the stand and really snitching for public record on his son right now.
Right.
There's actually niggas that's really like actively live snitching right now. As in, I ain't gonna say nothing. They like, yeah, we about to give you 20. So what had happened was.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AG. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I have a different one for AG because this is something that AG talked about a month ago. And this is based off the Joe Budden interview with the CEO of Gamma, Larry Jackson, which was to me was a phenomenal interview. Larry Jackson is a very, very intelligent brother. And I enjoyed this interview just based off the jewels he was dropping. And AG told me about a month ago, he said, when all this settled, Drake is still going to be Drake. And Larry Jackson actually made some comments. He made a comment that said, Drake is selling more than the artists from the 70s and the 80s. I think he said 60s, 70s, and the 80s. Mm-hmm. And even right now, as you can see, he's still one of the top selling artists, even after losing this battle. But if you look at social media and you look at other outlets, they make it seem as if not only is he canceled, but he can't come back from this. AG, after watching that interview, what do you think about all of this? Because now it sounds like Drake may be owning some of these artists that we hold dear to us as well.
Okay, so I'm a pivot a little bit because unfortunately I didn't get to tap into that whole interview. I only saw maybe like 15, 20 minutes of it, but I'm gonna just speak to real live experience, right? I do intend on tapping into that interview because I'm hearing great things about it. This 2 days ago, I was in your former stomping ground, Coop. I was in Charlotte. Me and my son, we went down there for a Bryson Tiller concert, right? So we was down at the amphitheater. So just being outside in Charlotte, we heard a couple songs, DJ warming up the crowd. It was some spots we was at, and my son, he had a dope idea. We heard a couple Drake songs, like probably like 5 minutes after hopping out of the whip, right? He was like, let's keep track of how many songs we hear, get played from Drake, how many songs we get here played from Kendrick, how many songs get played for the hometown guy, J. Cole being from North Carolina. And when I tell you, we kept count, I think the boy Drake's going to be okay, like for real, because we counted 14 Drake songs being played outside prior to that concert. Now, granted, it was an R&B crowd, you know what I mean, to see Bryson Tiller. But, the DJ was dropping the beat out, letting the ladies sing along, to the Drake records, word for word. They was like vibing. 14 Drake records. At one point, I was like, damn, is this a Drake concert? It was like crazy. And then I heard 2 Kendrick joints. And, it was a state ordinance that they play a little bit of J. Cole. So it was like 4 J. Cole joints that got played that night.
Did you say state ordinance?
State ordinance. You're being
funny. First of all, I was in Charlotte too.
Oh, for real? That's what's up.
Yeah.
I would have pulled up on you if I know you was there.
It's okay. I had to handle some family biz.
I got you. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But it was, the concert was dope. But just being outside, man, I mean, Drake was in full rotation. Everybody was vibing to the music. So with all that said, he took an L, but it looks like he's going to be all right to me, just from what I saw being outside in Charlotte.
Let's not confuse a couple of things. Did Kendrick win this battle?
Yes.
Yes. Light-skinned niggas haven't been hurt this bad since I'll Be Sure disappeared. It's bad.
That's two light-skinned jokes in the same episode. That's wild.
It's bad.
That is wild, though.
It's bad. But seriously, people need to understand something. Not Like Us is the best song Kendrick has made in about 7 fucking years.
Damn, cool.
Might be one of his best songs, period, just as much as it rings off.
Yeah.
As far as hit making ability, this is one of his 5 biggest hits.
Absolutely.
Facts.
So understand what Kendrick just did hit making wise, Drake has literally been doing for 15 years, guys.
Correct.
And so respectfully,
gotta get aboard.
You have to be careful about the lens through which you look at things. So if you want to look at through a this year lens, it's like, does Kendrick have a bigger hit record than Drake this year? Yes. Do you know how many times that's happened prior to this year? 0. You get what I'm saying? And so we need to start looking at it on the scale for what it's worth. It's like there is no canceling nobody. There is not canceling of an artist who has given this culture about, rough estimation, 25 to 30 records on the level of Not Like Us in terms of hit making ability. 25 to 30. You do understand he has 25 to 30 records like that. So this man's 1 or 2 or 3. You can't cancel that because you'd be canceling an actual piece of our culture if you did that.
Yep.
But it's people online talking crazy stuff. My son showed me a tweet the other day that said, if you take away Drake's career, like hip hop would be the same. That's just not a true statement. Like,
these are lies because there are a lot of guys walking. There are a lot of guys specifically from the last 15 years whose catalog looks drastically different
without
because
Drake.
they don't have a hook from Drake,
right?
A verse from Drake, and the backing that comes with that by the industry.
That's the thing. The backing.
He's actually been more impactful.
Yes.
To other artists' careers than any other major level rapper that I can think of. So let's go to some of the people that we've talked to today. When has having LL on a record made or break somebody's career? Or Rakim? Like, think about it. We talking about in Styles. Like let's bring up some of the guys that we mentioned today. LL, Rakim, Styles. When has having them on a song been the difference making between maybe whether your label was going to get behind you and push your shit?
No.
You can't cancel something like that.
Can't. It means too much. It means too much. You can call him a plant, whatever you want to call him. It means too much.
Look, first of all, if there's a plant, it's not the lights. It's not that guy.
No.
If there's a plant, see, a plant is somebody who the industry sets in place to make sure that they succeed no matter what. As in, you get to take a 5-year break, drop a doo-doo album, and not really make anything hot for 7 years. And then you finally pop out and make a few good records, and people are acting like you're the greatest MC of all time. That's what the fuck a plant looks like. Just so we're clear. So if there's a plant in this situation, it ain't Drake. You niggas need to learn about ivies and lilies and aloe and cactuses. Plants.
Sean's face is killing me, man.
Yo, it's cool. It's cool, man.
Butter lettuce.
Man. I thought we talked about this.
Green onions. Get you some big rainbow heirloom tomatoes, punk ass kids.
Yo, man.
Plants. Talking about who the plant. You want to know who the plant is?
Yo.
It's just like all you niggas got a plug, right? All you niggas is plugged. Oh, I got a plug. You ain't plugged the shit, nigga. All you do is plug up your laptop and talk shit.
Oh, man.
You get this guy triggered. Like what Cooper's trying to say is Drake. They compare Drake's record, his actual deal, which is crazy. They compare his deal to Walter Yankonof's situation with Billie Jean and Michael Jackson. For those of you who don't know who Walter is, God rest his soul, he was the president of CBS, and he was the one who fought to get Billie Jean on MTV. Correct. They're comparing Drake's deal to to what Walter did with Billie Jean, meaning the magnitude of that deal that Drake has with Gamma is feeding a lot of different things out there. Artists, culture, impact. There's a lot that goes into that.
It's feeding about 15% of the industry, bare minimum.
Bare minimum. Bare minimum. Rick Ross' name was mentioned. In this interview, Larry said a lot of stuff, but he didn't give up a lot of stuff. Yes.
Look here. This is what I mean. Like, God Forgives and I Don't is Rick Ross's best album to me.
Yep. Yep.
Diced Pineapples is the separating moment on that album.
Very much so.
It's the separation moment. It's like this album's a classic.
Very much so.
Like it was great. It was all time great. And then Diced Pineapples comes in on track 14, and then followed by 10 classic.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Very much so.
Go. Cause Three Kings, Hold Me Back, 9/11, Fucking You, like all the no. Them is great joints. Diced Pineapples put that album over the top.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going back further with, you know what I'm saying, Aston Martin music, which was Paris Morton music on, Teflon Don.
And I don't care what anybody says. The Carter 3 sounds like Drake wrote those hooks. And I'll maintain that till the end. The Carter 3 don't sound like that. Weezy don't do hooks like that. But there's somebody in the camp who does.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, and not to go off on a tangent, the thing that makes the Drake, reference track and ghostwriting thing so fascinating is because he's a great writer himself that writes for other people. So that's where it gets kind of dicey,
Right.
So
got it. Hey, look, and Jack, they're not comparing him to Michael Jackson. So let me be clear. It wasn't a comparison of Michael Jackson. They're saying his deal is as big as what Walter did for Billie Jean and MTV during that time.
What Nas say on Success? Like Mike Jack's ATU part, Matola can't touch.
Yeah.
Let this bitch breathe.
But yeah, what you were saying, Coop, that's not out of the realm of possibility because people act like they didn't hear that reference track for I'm Single. Like they swept that one under the rug. Nobody wanted to talk about that reference track that Drake did for Wayne.
Yeah.
There are more.
There's more.
There are more.
Yeah.
I've had somebody tell me directly that there's more.
There's a lot more. For some of the biggest artists out there that you will probably be like, how?
And here's the thing about it. I don't give a damn. I still got Wayne ahead of Drake on my all-time list.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wayne in that top 10, 15. This is what I'm saying. So it's like, no, Wayne top 10, 15.
I got Wayne at number 11.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. He would be yes. It's a very solid placement for him. It's very appropriate. Yeah.
He's knocking on the door.
I think I'd have him about 12 or 13 at this point, but yeah, in that wheelhouse.
He's knocking on that door.
Yeah.
So with Drake, we got to talk a little bit about Kendrick. He's about to drop the Juneteenth concert. Yo, cool. I mean, I wonder if he's going to. Cool, man.
Oh my God.
I think honestly, fellas, and I don't know how true this is, but I think we're going to get these shoes popped out on on the concert. I found them joints. I'm not
thoughts, bro. The Charlotte Hornet joints go crazy. That's wild.
The stiletto shocks, Nike shocks is ridiculous.
And Charlotte Hornets colors is crazy. That's a direct shot at you, Coop. I think that's what's up.
Yeah.
Direct shot at Coop. You have the gall to put stilettos on Nike shocks. Yo, you gotta be a sick person to do that. But that's a definitely shot. That's a shot at Coop. He's done with Coop shenanigans, man.
I'm done with his shenanigans. Hey, let me ask you a legitimate question.
You gonna come out some Manolo Blahniks?
How many times has he done a Juneteenth concert?
This is
never.
Never. This is first one.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at this from the perspective of Black history. Well, Juneteenth has become popular. The pandemic is part of why it became popular. when I was talking to Iced Out and Deranged earlier, the event that they came to was my Juneteenth event, which was my second time hosting my own Juneteenth event in the city. I actually hosted one at my house the first time during the pandemic. It was actually the first time a lot of people that actually like came together that I knew, like, because everybody had kind of been in the house and doing their own thing. Now, and maybe I'm splitting hairs here. Maybe I'm just being a little too detail oriented. This guy did make To Pimp a Butterfly, right?
Yeah.
Which is probably the most pro-black, socially conscious rap album of his generation, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
When did To Pimp a Butterfly come out?
20 was it 13 or 14?
14.
14. Yeah.
Why wasn't he doing a Juneteenth concert then when he actually had theme music to match? Since he's so woke, since he cares so much about our people, seriously, like people
Now
need to
y'all
pay
woke up laughing at niggas y'all used to say it's on the anti-establishment business.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, it's 2015. Yeah. Why wasn't he doing a Juneteenth concert when he literally had a whole album that would have been theme music to a Juneteenth concert?
Right.
Why? Why now?
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
No, because this is what I mean about, oh no, plant work. It's like, oh, well, now you done won this battle. Now you all of a sudden want to go outside and do everything, huh? Oh, you want to do diss records. You about to drop your album. You doing a Juneteenth concert. This is a promotional rollout for his albums. This is not about our people. This is a promotional rollout for his album. This is not about our people, because if it was about our people, your black ass would have done it in 2015 when you was making that boring ass freedom fighting music on To Pimp a Butterfly. Your lying ass. Now, why, I don't hate him, but he not about to stunt in front and act like it's okay. Tell me that's not a stunt or a front. Can anybody explain to me why he wouldn't do this when To Pimp a Butterfly came out?
No, I think he's going to try to use this as his Summer Jam Scream moment.
This is a promotional rollout. Right. How about this, Mr. Juneteenth? You going to perform a diss record dissing another black man at your Juneteenth concert with your woke ass?
He don't consider Drake black. I think he established that.
He established that. Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
He's smiling that coupe in his joint, man. Like he's looking at coupe with the shoes on, man. Like
very proud. You want to know? I haven't said this in a long. The fact that he's doing a Juneteenth concert is very problematic. It's very problematic that he's doing a Juneteenth concert. Is nobody else paying attention? First of all,
Sean, I think Sean got the joints right behind him. I think he copped. I think it's in one of those cases.
No. When I saw the teal and the purple, I was like, oh, and this nigga gonna get locally disrespectful. I'm not having it. He's getting locally disrespectful. No. He's being locally disrespectful to me. He about to do a diss record at a concert that's supposed to bring black people together. You don't have shit else to perform, because that shit that you dropped 2 years ago was trash. So you either performing a bunch of old ass records, or you performing new records to promote your album and doing these diss tracks, right?
He would be dumb not to. There's no way like us. I mean, not like us and like that don't get played at this concert. Ain't no way.
This is not a Juneteenth concert to help and support and show love for black people. This is a promotional rollout. Sponsored to you by Jimmy Iovine and Interscope Records, while he talking that Drake not black shit. The motherfucker who run you ain't black. The motherfucker who run your check ain't black. I ain't never heard you complain about that. Since your ass is so black on both sides, why don't you go work for a black business then? Because Interscope ain't motherfucking that.
Yo, ain't he dropping an exclusive interview with Rosenberg too on the same day?
With Rosenberg of all people.
I just wanted to say that to get Coop tricked.
So he fuck with one type of J's, but not the black type of J's, is what we're saying.
Yo, Coop is
That's what we're saying. You fuck with the wholesale.
He was talking about sneakers, y'all. He was talking about sneakers.
I ain't talking about no goddamn sneakers.
He's talking about sneakers behind Sean, the J's. Hey, we gonna find out if cancel culture is real or not.
His name's Rosenberg. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? Oh, hold on. You're doing a Juneteenth concert, doing an interview with somebody whose last name's Rosenberg. getting checks from a dude whose last name is Iveen. And I'm the problem? And Drake's the plant. No, but Drake's the plant, right? Man. I've been woke so long, I'm tired now. This is some bullshit.
Yo, my bad, man. I shouldn't have brought that up. Let me get this last super.
You want to know what?
Yo, y'all are tuning in though, right?
No. And you know who I blame?
No.
These punk ass kids who support him.
Full circle moment. Now I'm gonna tune in to the concert. You know what I mean? I'm gonna text Coop while it's going on.
What is he gonna have a Tiger Woods moment? I'm Blasian. You know, I'm from all sorts of indigenous and what the fuck going on?
They streaming that joint live on Amazon and Twitch, I believe. So
Amazon? You mean Jeff Bezos? Amazon Prime. You mean Jeff Bezos?
Yeah. You know who owns Amazon? Why not be
fascinating?
It's not on Stars. It's not on Stars, Coop.
Could have called 50. 50 would have put the program together, would he not?
Could have go BET.
Would he have not?
Yo.
What's his name?
50's Team Drake. 50's Team Drake.
Your black ass called Byron Allen and put it on his networks? Seeing how he got like 50 channels? Hello? Message. Well, then he'd have to put on a dress, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yo, man, time out. Yo, let me get the super. We gotta get out of here. yo, that's consider himself as a black man, as a black on down.
Oh yeah, right, he's a what do you say, a black Israelite? I mean, not a what do you say?
It's something like he's an Israelite or something like that. Asiatic black Hebrew. I don't know.
Now he's a Hebrew. How convenient.
Asiatic black Hebrew.
I ain't heard this nigga say a scripture. I ain't heard this nigga say a scripture.
RZA don't get enough credit for that verse. That verse is fire, yo. RZA killed that, man.
Yo.
What, Asiatic Black Hebrew, the year 2002, the battle still with the woo. 6 million devils to die from the
bubonic fluff or the Ebola virus.
Under the reign of King Cyrus. The weakness of a man right through his
iris.
Yo, man. This is the tickets are $300 a pop. Why not make it free?
Free.
Because his slave masters won't let him do that.
So next week they
own this nigga.
Yo, man.
You know they own this nigga, right?
Yo,
he's not even an indentured servant. He's a slave.
Yo, stat.
He's a slave. They own this nigga. Did I make Sean disappear? Sean's like, I can't take it anymore. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Y'all wild, man.
You want out? Yeah. Y'all asked for it. When I saw the purple and the teal, that's the moment that I slapped. It's like, oh, he's being disrespectful directly now. You're going to make some Charlotte Hornets as fucking heel toes. Is that what he's high stepping in? Is that what he's high stepping in? Is those shoes?
That's step this way. Step this way.
Yo, look how he's standing in the shoes, though.
$300 for a ticket. $300.
Yo, I was low key disappointed, man. This is a sidebar. Like I saw a video with this dude that made it sound like Not Like Us sampled Ether, and I was convinced that shit sounded spot on. But I saw a video today on YouTube that debunked it, that played the actual sample pitched up, man. So
yeah,
it was good fan fiction for a day or two.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy you in that one. I saw I'll get on that little coast what they got going on. I didn't join.
Andrew just sent me a text saying I need to move on. I'm gonna let it go.
Thank you, Andrew. Last but certainly not least, we do have a treat for y'all next week. Those of you who know, we don't consider ourselves as a true Nas channel. We're not Nas dependent, but we definitely are Nas centric, but not Nas dependent. We have a very special guest that's gonna pop on next week and interview with us. And those of you who know Faith Newman, if anyone doesn't know Faith Newman, please do your homework. But we have Faith Newman coming up next week on Hip Hop Talks. It's gonna be a live interview. It's going to be one of those, y'all, because if those of you who say you love Nas, those of you who follow hip hop and love hip hop, Faith was very integral to Nas' early career. She was one of the ones who found Nas. in the bridge. And we're going to have that conversation with her next week. This is a treat that we have for you all. We got so many different things in the tuck. We just want to be very smart about how we roll these things out. And we want to make sure we give you guys a treat here and there. And we feel like Faith is one of those. We're very appreciative to what she did for the culture, what she brings to the culture. And we definitely want to dive into some things with her to talk about not just Nas, but also talk about some other things she got. Those of you. But we're definitely locked and loaded for that interview for next week. We're looking forward to you all popping up with us as we dive into it. Faith Newman. How you guys are feeling about that? You guys excited about this one? This is one of those. We got some other ones, but this is one of those. Everybody gonna get a chance to get on an interview with Faith Newman, and this is a good one right here. So what do y'all think about this one?
AG, go ahead.
It's big, man. As far as what Faith Newman means to the culture, if a lot of people are not familiar with their contributions, then tap in and do the knowledge. She's big even outside of the scope of Nas. Like, she had a whole career prior to Nas. You know what I mean? So take the time to do a little research before you pull up on this interview, because she means a lot to the culture. She's heavy in the game, and it's a major look.
No doubt.
I'm actually humbled and honored that we're actually getting the opportunity to interview Faith. I'm gonna piggyback off what AG said. She's been a major contributor to this culture in general. Like, we could actually legitimately have a full-fledged interview with her without ever even mentioning Nas's name.
Facts.
Her contributions to this culture are like that. On a sidebar, to keep it a little light, I'm excited for the interview. She looking like a whole snack on that picture. Who did that picture?
Oh, man.
Good. Faith looking good out here. Faith looking good out here. No. I'm gonna tell her when I interview. Be like, you were holding up very well. You look great. You look excellent.
Yeah, you wouldn't guess she's, her age.
Dr. Umar, don't be mad at me, brother.
Gracious, man.
No.
Aging like fine wine. So yeah, Faith. But real one. She a dope one. For real.
No. Like she literally is dope all around. But I do mean what I say. Like, I like to have fun. Like, we're gonna have fun on these episodes, but her contributions to this culture are immense. Like, they are. They're very sincere. They're very real. And what I really hope to get out of talking to her and with her is for people to get an understanding of the full scope of what her career looks like, because she's one of those people that really doesn't get the credit that she deserves outside of the Nas contribution. It's like, sometimes you do something so big and important to the culture that people forget your other contributions to the culture.
Yep.
And she's actually one of those people where, people always talk about like the legacy of Illmatic and how it's kind of been like a blessing and a curse for Nas. But what I don't think people understand, it's been a blessing and a curse for all the other people involved too. And she's actually one of those people where it's like, well, because her name is attached to Nas and Illmatic, she hasn't gotten her just due for her other contributions. And so what I really hope to get out of this interview is to actually give her just due.
Absolutely.
She is looking good though. Don't act like you niggas ain't see that.
This dude right here, man.
She looking good out here. All right. She's looking good out here in these streets.
AG, anything you want to say? I mean, anything you want to add to that?
I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying what the brothers at home is saying. That's sitting up there and saw the picture go across the screen. Look here, Dr. Umar. Peter Paul said try them all.
I don't know where that came from. That just popped out of nowhere, man.
Look here, Dr. Umar. Peter Paul said try them all. You take that sage and go open some portals elsewhere. Stay the hell up out my business when I'm interviewing Faith. That's what you need to do. You need to be worried about your no taxes paying ass anyway, but that's another conversation for another day too.
Your Coop is on fire tonight, yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Coop dropped 40 tonight, man. It's crazy.
Yo, Coop is crazy, man.
I'm just saying what the
Yo,
other brothers
fellas.
at home was thinking. Look here, when y'all put the picture up, niggas stop thinking about Nas and Illmatic and all that. When y'all put the picture up, we was better off keeping the picture down. But I am excited. But I am excited to interview her. I'm actually as excited to interview her. Okay, you need to put that away. Put that picture away. I'm as excited to interview her as anybody. That's hilarious. I'm as excited to interview her as anybody that I've ever interviewed, actually. And I've already like been taking my notes and building my questions out like literally weeks ahead of time, because she deserves that type of attention. And when I do interview her, I'm going to interview her like with the professional journalistic integrity that I always do. So I'm very much looking forward to speaking with her.
No doubt. This is gonna be one of those. I'm very excited. I'm very happy for the channel and for our fans.
Like I feel challenged by this interview too, Sean. Like this is one of those interviews where it's like, no, like me as a writer and as a journalist, like I need to be on my shit when dealing with her. That's what I'm saying. This is like, oh, I'm cracking jokes now. The interview ain't about to be like this.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
We're taking you through boot camp this week. This upcoming week, you're going through boot camp.
Yeah. No,
absolutely.
It's like no. Like y'all gonna have to go through the questions and be like, no, we can ask that. We can't ask that. Like like we got to be airtight for this, because quite frankly, she's bequeathing us like a very important moment for us that, quite frankly, she doesn't have to do.
No doubt.
Like she don't have to pull up on us.
Absolutely.
Like,
she's heavy. She's heavy.
Yeah. She's heavy. But we want to give her flowers and do her justice, and that's exactly what I'm about to do with this interview. So I'm actually going to tell you now. It's like I thought that I think my Chris the Glove Taylor interview was my best interview that I've ever done.
I love that one.
But I think this interview is about to be better. Like this is about to be my best interview, because like I'm about to bring all my tools in my toolbox to the table to make sure that she gets the flowers and the notoriety and people understand who she really is in this culture.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
So like I've been in my bag. I've been digging and doing all my research.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't let the jokes and like all the shit talking fool you. Like I'm in my bag on this one.
No doubt.
Yeah.
The Glove interview was dope. Hit Boy. I mean, it just the beautiful thing about our team is that we know how to set each other up for what we can do. And this is one of those things that we talked about behind the scenes. With someone like Faith, you don't want to crowd an interview like this. This has to be an intimate interview. You know what I mean? Because we have, if you guys were following us, and we appreciate y'all for following us for sure. But if those of you are following us, you can kind of see some of the breadcrumbs that's leading to certain things that we're doing. We're doing this, like, this is a very strategic rollout that we're doing if you guys are following. Even if you go back to the station head days that we're going to get back into sooner rather than later, where we interview certain folks. We interview Imam Thug from QB, someone who's attached to Nori, Nas, Mobb Deep. We interview Haas G. We got different things that we are setting up for a reason. And this is a big chess piece on a chessboard that we are setting up for the future. And if you think about Coop in his previous life, interviewing the Glove, interviewing Hit Boy, and just being able to navigate conversations to get things out of these guys that other places couldn't get. You know what I'm saying? Like having a real conversation when it doesn't sound like it's an interrogation. And that's important for us at Hip Hop Talks. Everything cannot be an interrogation in the interview. It has to be intimate. It has to make sense. We have to have the guts and also have like the intestinal fortitude to ask questions that fans wanted to know for years. And I think that the way we're talking about these things behind the scenes and we're prepping each other to be able to have Coop prepared for an interview like this is important to us. Because when AG number is called to do the interview where the next person we got lined up, he's going to go through that same boot camp ritual. That's how we rock. And again, we're doing this all for the fans. This is not for us. We can have this conversation with these guys behind the scenes and just keep it at that and just keep it there. But we're bringing it here onto Hip Hop Talks. We're bringing it here to you all so you all can enjoy some of those from your favorite artists out there as well.
Hey, a lot of people are making comments in the chat because like I made a comment about Faith. It's like, I'm not the person that's walking around acting like your savior. Like, Like, don't sit up there and come for me. I said Peter Paul said try them all. Your man's is over there throwing the Juneteenth concert sign with check signed from. That ain't me. When I did my Juneteenth event, you know who sponsored and paid for my Juneteenth event? A black man. Right. So don't ever question my blackness. I just know where my eyes see. My eyes ain't lied to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. My eyes ain't lied to me.
AG being all coy over there, and he's, in his mind, he's thinking probably the most diabolical things.
Wow.
I call a spade. I call a spade a spade. I call a snack a snack. I know what my eyes see. I ain't blind.
He's being all coy.
I ain't blind. Look here. These niggas be talking that shit. They run to South America and Mexico and the Virgin Islands every year and find them something that's not black. Yeah. Right. Take that.
No, we can't quote that guy.
No, I can do whatever I want. Niggas are still playing R. Kelly. I can do whatever I want. Niggas still playing R. Kelly at barbecues. Okay?
He's checking on
At least Puff was taking advantage of adults.
Yo, that super chat is on point. She does have the early Def Jam connection. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to 88 Spence. You did your homework, man. Like, she's heavy in the game, man, for a very long time. Very long time. We're looking at like 30 plus years in the game. You know what I'm saying? Pushing 40 years in the game.
I'm about to say more than that. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, how about this? So, and we can kind of leave it like here. You know, bringing a talent like Nas to the table, which means you already have to have certain connections and certain things in play to even be able to make that acquisition and to bring that to the table. That's what I mean when I'm saying people really need to know who she is. It's like, well, not everybody can go get the most prodigious MC to ever come out of New York's Mecca. Like, think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, special people tend to attach themselves to special people.
Mm-hmm. Big thanks.
So there's obviously something about her before this guy ever made the album that made him special, that made her special enough that that's where he signed up at.
Bingo.
Right.
Bingo.
So those are the things that we need to unpack. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great interview. I'm excited. Like, I love it when I get nervous about something. When I found out we were getting this interview, I got nervous, which made me smile. It made me happy. It's like, ooh, I love it when I get nervous. It means I got to be on my shit. Like, when Lupe ass was like, I bet you think you smarter than me. I was like, ooh, he want to dance with me? I'm like, let's tango, motherfucker.
Look at AG. AG still thinking about some diabolical stuff. That picture, that's why he's saying much right.
I was thinking, I was like, did Lupe want a tango? He want a Chicago two-step? Shot-town. You want a Chicago two-step with me, nigga? I was like, ooh. I was like, let me get my shit together.
Yeah.
Yo, wrap the show up, man.
Yo, good show tonight, fellas. Make sure all of you like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. We definitely want to continue to grow the channel. It's important for us to be able to not just so much grow the channel for ourselves, but we want to grow the channel for the true hip hop fan and core fans. Because the bigger we grow this channel, the more we can get the right interviews for those who you guys want to hear talk and to share their stories about your favorite artists. So again, continue to like, subscribe, and make sure that you share. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Make sure you share.
It's the sharing process that we really need. I think we got the right people liking and subscribing. Like, share it. What we're doing and what we're trying to do is really something special. Like, this is like a culture piece. Like, a lot of people know me in this space. It's like, oh no, like, I came over here with like purposeful intentions about doing the right thing for this culture. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure that we do that. And quite frankly, we got to put numbers on the boards to do that.
Facts.
So like, share, like, subscribe, click, like, do all of that. We in our bag right now. It's I Am God last week, Hyena Squad this week. We got Faith next week. We got shit in the pipeline that everybody's been working on individually to bring it to the table. I got a couple local artists down here I'm going to start bringing through to shine. Like, we're really trying to be a culture piece. And we're trying to be the type of culture piece that acknowledges legends and shows you who got next. Like, we're not picking one lane. We're taking all the lanes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no. We need to be able to talk to somebody like Faith. We need to be able to talk to the local artists like I Am God, like all in one fell swoop, because the culture starts from the bottom and works its way to the top, and we got to cover all that and everything in between, and it's important.
Facts. Join our Discord, Hip Hop Talks on Discord. That Discord group is always active throughout the entire day, throughout the night. They're talking about hip hop, culture, R&B. That Discord is ridiculous. You will love to connect with the people in that Discord. You got Trife, you got LP, you got myself, Coop, AG, you got Miss LB, you got Jack. It's a lot of us in that on Discord that just communicate through that communicate throughout the entire day, throughout the night. So we got different outlets out there for you all to continue to stay engaged with us. And we normally would drop some nuggets in that Discord as well. I got you, Lady Silk. I send that to you. I'll put that in the chat. Jack, matter of fact, Jack, can you put the Discord in the chat, please? But we normally drop some nuggets in there. I had a lot of people DMing me about my hats, my Wu hats, my Nas hats. I may start dropping some stuff in there as well. Just some giveaways for some of the fans out there also. So we're going to do those type of things and continue to build a culture, continue to build a hip hop talks community. Jack is going to drop the Discord in the actual the chat here. So join the chat. You'll get some exclusive information, exclusive heads up on things, and join us on Twitter. You know what I mean?
First of all,
on everything that we're doing.
Jack, I want to let you know. I see you making your little comments. Your arm's too short to box.
Oh, that's Rika. Rika, what's up? I know, man. Rika, you know what it is.
Who is Rika?
Man, Rika, one of my old followers, man, from my old podcast, man. Rika is a hip hop.
Oh, she been up in the chat tonight. She repping the QC.
Yes, Rika lives in Charlotte. Yeah,
she go to school in Charlotte. Where you go to school, Rika?
She went to school in a small place called Georgetown, South Carolina. I think it's smaller than West Virginia, actually.
Yeah, no, Georgetown is right. No, I got family from Georgetown. Is right next to Charleston. It's the next town over. I'm familiar with Georgetown.
Yep.
Okay. I see you, Rika.
My bad, Rika. Rika went to school with Stacks.
Okay.
Yeah. Rika went to loyal, no hip hop, straight up and down. We got to get Rika on the show. Rika no hip hop, R&B, like the back.
No. I've been seeing Rika in the chat all night talking her shit. Yeah. She know her stuff. I've been seeing her. Jack, you don't stand a chance against me. Mad Max, I don't know where you been, fam. Better stop ducking and hiding me. You're still a sucker out here. Wet behind the ears. You're not ready. Jack, you're not ready. Mad Max, I don't know where you've been. You've been hiding on these other podcasts. I've been seeing you hiding on these other podcasts. You think because niggas is inviting you on that you shining, you still not Coop. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever get it twisted. You could never be Coop, nigga.
Yo, with that said, yo, Jack.
You niggas think you want a piece of the throne? You want to get in the ring with me?
Yo, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Bumba Claude.
Yo, Rika, I appreciate you. Let everybody know from the guys podcast to hit us up here on Hip Hop Talks. Tell them this is where I'm at. Much love to all of you.
Tell Mad Max I'm looking for his ass in these streets. Shout out to LP. I met LP at the Nas show at the KD concert. Me and LP chopped it up. Me and his girl.
Yeah, LP
is wow, man.
No. LP's actually a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He got a good chick with him. You know what I'm saying?
He from Flushing. Yeah, good dude. Real good dude. Jack, drop that for the people. We out of here, y'all. Peace. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Rika.
See you in these streets, Jack. See you in these streets, nigga.